All right. Hopefully, everything is good. I took the time to reset my internet. It still might be laggy. Are we up and running? Are we good? I can't tell. Are we up? We good? Open studio. All right. Wow, that took me forever, bro. I have like 2 routers, right? And I had to figure out which one was bugging. So I had to shut off everything. But I think we are all good now. All right. There you go. Jesus, man. That was treacherous. Never again, bro. All right, let's go.
So would you agree with me that at 12 years old, she's not...
I do not agree.
Oh.
All right, so just to catch everybody up real quick, this dude's a pedophile. And on top of him being a pedophile, he's been talking to this girl for 5 years. So that means he's been talking to her since she was 7 years old. Or, yeah, 7 years old, because this girl is 12 years old. And he found where she lived. He's been talking to her for 5 years, and the parents intervened as much as possible, taking the girl's phone away because she was on YouTube, had a channel and whatever. But Creepo here wound up and wanted to see what she was all about. And for whatever reason, they have not been able to get this pedophile off his little girl's back, or their little girl's back. And now he's in the neighborhood, literally in the front yard, trying to talk to this little girl, talking about, you never expressed your love and this, that, and a third. Bro, what? And now he's complaining to the police officer about the little girl, saying if it's a yes or a no to be together. And he's clearly stating to the police officer that he likes little girls and wish that she was 6 years old, bro. Insane.
Sure. What's your first name? What's the name given to you by the government?
Timothy.
Timothy? And Timothy, what's the
Nielsen, Nielsen.
Timothy's ranting only became more incoherent as the encounter went on, but one thing was clear. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he wasn't ashamed of it.
So apparently, according to dispatch, we've been dealing with you in this capacity for a couple weeks now.
I will leave forever if that
In
says
her heart,
that I do
she's
not
12.
want this guy. I will leave forever, and that 5 years has been
So-
one girl
so
has
would-
been a long
so
time.
would you-
5 years.
so would-
5.
So would you agree with me that at 12 years old, she's not...
I do not agree.
Okay. So, well, I'm telling you that you're not to have any type of relationship.
Okay,
with
as
this
little
girl,
children,
okay?
right? She's gonna be old one day
so-
and die.
So?
Because
Well,
I will live
and-
forever, and I will I will myself.
Okay. So are you making threats to harm yourself? You just said I'll myself.
Without her, I will die one day.
Well, we're all going to die one day.
Right, and I hope my day is soon.
Okay.
And
Why is that?
I'll be diligent with you, sir.
Okay, I appreciate that. But so why do you think you? I mean, we're all going to die one day. But I mean, you understand she's 12, but I understand from you that doesn't make a difference
But
to
you don't understand God. With men, things aren't possible. With God, all things are possible. All
Bro,
things.
that's not in the same context, bro.
And that's what they say.
That is not.
And I want to.
That is not within the same context. This dude, he said all things are possible. Bro, you're talking about pedophilia. You're talking about being with a little girl.
Her heart.
Okay. So at 12 years old, if she says yes, I'm in love with
I
you.
feel like anybody should be jailed for a minimum of a year at least for admitting, not even like they don't have any evidence. He's just admitting that he's been talking to this girl for 5 years. She's 12. She was 7 when he first started talking to her. Go to jail immediately. Like, I think it's simple. I think it's easy.
You know that stuff, man. I've been with one girl all these years.
I'm trying to understand where you're coming from.
Or gone around with other girls. I've been with one girl this whole year.
With no end in sight to Timothy's ranting, the officer decided to do him a favor and check with the little girl's family.
But how do you?
From the internet. I will never harm anybody. I'm putting nobody in danger.
Okay.
I could maybe just take a date with no. I'm not looking for. Maybe just a date for coffee or something, man. Just to meet her on the phone.
Do you think 12-year-olds drink coffee?
I'll buy her dinner, dude. I don't care.
Insanity.
All right. Mr. Nielsen,
Get this man out of
sit tight
here.
for 1 second. I'll be right back with you. I'm going to get that final answer for you. Yeah, you got it. Absolutely.
The talk went exactly how you'd expect, and the officer returned bearing
It's
some
so
bad
crazy
news for Timothy.
to me that people actually think that way. I'm saying,
Mr. Nielsen, I told you I would do you
for
one
why?
favor.
Like, it doesn't have to be
did
that
speak
way.
With the 12-year-old, and I know while you said that you don't care if they're 6 years old, 12 years old, it's what you feel in your heart. She
In
wants
his
nothing
heart.
to do with you. There's no love connection. She does not foresee herself growing old in your arms and dying together with you or anything like that. So it is definitely a no-go. I hate to be the person to break your heart, but it is definitely not gonna work out. Regardless of what may have been communicated on the internet, what you thought in your mind, what you thought in your heart, there is definitely
And
no.
do you believe it came from her?
I talked to her. I talked to her specifically.
Do you believe it came from her? She wasn't under distress at
Do
all?
you
Well,
believe?
no, she's not under duress
How do you know?
because I was in the house.
How do you know she's not under duress right now?
Okay.
How do you know she's not under duress? Huh?
Put your hands on your back. Put your hands behind me. We're not going to have you acting up like this.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah,
You're gonna be
give him
detained
3
right now,
years,
based on
just
your erratic
cause.
behavior.
Yeah.
While we investigate the complaint of you trying to while we continue to investigate your desire to have a relationship with a 12-year-old.
That's erratic?
Step this way. It doesn't matter. Yours is probably easier to get into.
I've done nothing. I have done nothing.
Like I said, Mr. Nielsen, you're not under arrest at this time, but you are being detained during the investigation of a relationship with a 12-year-old.
Timothy Nielsen was eventually arrested and tried. He was found guilty of 2 counts of menacing by stalking and 1 count of importuning. He was sentenced to the maximum possible sentence of 4.5 years in prison, and afterwards he will have 5 years of post-release control. He will also register as a Tier 1 offender.
This just in, a suspected prowler has been arrested. Surveillance video released by Volusia County Sheriff's Office shows a man peeping into a woman's window in DeBerry at least twice this month.
This is 29-year-old Stephen Johnson, a.k.a. the DeBerry Prowler. Stephen had what he described as an uncontrollable urge to stare into his neighbor's window. Officers in Volusia County, Florida were informed about Stephen's suspicious movements, so they increased patrols in the
people in Florida, bruh. And that's where I'm moving. Pray for me.
area. Fast forward to the 29th of January, 2023, when a sergeant noticed a suspicious man walking out from between 2 homes around 9 p.m.
What's up, man? Where are you coming from? Where do you stay?
Oh yeah, see, the police is already out of his car and on the property. He was already seen. Oh yeah, get his ass. Yeah. Get him. Taser, get him. Hey, police officer, you supposed to do some more track. This boy out of breath already.
I lost him near the clubhouse.
Wait, did they just send off a drone? Hold on.
I lost him near the clubhouse.
Yeah, they just sent off a drone. Get his ass. Yeah. Infrared. Night vision. Not infrared. Night vision.
Blue flannel, like sweatpants, blue sweater, glasses, short black hair. White male, probably 120 pounds. Okay. About 5'8".
Get this bum.
Well, you'll be bit.
The officers lost track of Stephen after he ran into the dense shrubbery, but the chase was far from over. Backup officers deployed a drone and immediately pinpointed his location.
Yeah. Oh, you're right here. Oh no, he right here. He's right here.
There's a helmet or something right there. See it? Person laying down.
Get up! Get up now!
Shoes.
Get up now! Show me your
Uh-huh.
right now. Get out! Let's go!
Get this weirdo, bruh.
Put your hands behind your back.
Because you know what you did. We know what you did. That's why we're here. That's why there's a canine here. That's why the helicopter was here. That's why there's about, what, you say 15 or 20 deputies that were here? There's a reason for that. Why is that? Okay. Yes, that's why. That's weird, man. It makes people uneasy and puts people, like, it puts a weird feeling in your gut when you find out someone's looking at you through a window. You look like this, outside of a window, peeking through it, and the neighbor says, "Hey!"
If you're a woman who owns a business, then you need a virtual assistant. And not just any virtual assistant.
And you're like, "Oh, you take off? Don't ring a bell in your head?" Okay. What would you do if some man was peeping at your wife through a window? You wouldn't go whoop it, right? All right. I got your phone. We'll get you some warmth, and I don't know if we have any dry clothes.
Stephen was charged with loitering/prowling and resisting an officer without violence. He's looking at up to 1 year in jail and a $1,500 fine if found guilty.
911.
Oh, he's definitely guilty, so
Okay.
lock him up.
We parked next to the car. I get out and it looks in like pictures or something. His phone was up.
Okay.
Like at the steering wheel. So I'm like, I don't think that's what's going on, but I'm getting the kids out at the same time. So I get the kids out and I just glance one more time, and sure enough, you know, in his hand.
Oh, wow.
Out, his pants are down almost to his knees.
Up to his knees.
On the 5th of August, 2023, officers in Port Orange, Florida received a call about a The man in question was 49-year-old Levon Glenn. Officers were dispatched to investigate.
So, just out of curiosity,
that boy's spanking.
I was coming to use some money to clean my car. Okay.
So I said, I don't know where can I go to change my clothes because I had to wash my car. So I need to put on some clothes right quick. So I walked here. I never walked up there to that bathroom. I never been here this part like this. So I said, okay, I'm gonna sit right here. I'm gonna change my clothes real quick. I'm changing my clothes. And then I said, damn, I left my underwear in there.
He said he left his underwear in there.
Tie my shoes and then y'all walked up. Okay. So then I started to put my clothes back on. He said, he seen me when he walked up. I ain't doing.
Who just leaves their underwear anywhere? Ah, forgot.
I ain't none of that, man. I don't do that.
Like while you were changing, did you have your phone in your hands at all?
My phone's always up here.
Okay.
Levon did not deny that he had his pants off. Instead, he claimed that he was simply changing his clothes. As convincing a story as that is, there was one small problem. He was parked directly in front of the splash pad area of the park, a place where parents and kids alike play around in the water. Nobody bought his story, and the officers asked him to exit the vehicle. That's when things escalated.
Okay. Nobody Mr. Clay, we're not going to ask you again. No, you're not going to stick around. You're not, man. You're not going to take
Get out of the car. You're going to get tased.
You're going to get tased.
Get out of the car
now. You're not, man. Get out of the car.
I
didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm not going to tell you again.
You're going to get tased.
Nothing wrong, bro. Don't touch me, man. Sir? Call the supervisor. Don't put your hands on me. Sir, I'm not going to tell you.
You're going to get tased.
I'm going to record this, bro. That's fine. Okay, I'm not touching nobody. I didn't do wrong. You're not going to touch me and put it in the car. You're not.
Last chance.
You're not.
Oh.
That's not mine. You just put that in there. Yeah, okay. Get out of the car. Put that in there. I ain't put that in there, man.
Now look, I know that there's some dirty cops out there, but this dude in front of a kiddie water park play area with kids around, families around, pants on the ground, in his car, whacking off, and he's trying to find every excuse to get out of this situation. And he want to say that he just threw some drugs in his car.
Back up, Dave.
Oh, wow.
I know, I get it.
The officers gave chase and followed Levon until he crashed his car in a gas station parking lot. He immediately got out and tried to escape on foot.
How embarrassing. You're getting chased down because you're masturbating in a kiddie park, bro.
Quit reaching! Quit reaching! Stop! We're still holding on! Get down! Stop! Stop! Taser, taser, taser! All right, you go. Here! Here, just hit me! Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back now. Put them behind your back. Put your back. All right, got the arm.
It's all right.
All right. Get down on the ground. Damn, man.
Like, he didn't do nothing cool. He was just beating his meat in front of some kids at the park.
Stop grabbing. Put your hand.
Whose uncle is this, bruh?
Stop behind your back. Loosen up. Loosen up and you won't get tased again. Loosen up. Loosen up.
Every time you tense up, you're getting tased.
I am trying, man. Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Come on, please. I'm trying. Hold on, buddy. That's a bunch of stuff.
Don't repeat.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. في أول يوم من عيد الفطر السعيد نشكر مؤسسة مسلمون حول العالم.
Levon was arrested and faced 10 charges for his actions, including but not limited to battery on a law enforcement officer, fleeing and eluding, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, possession of cocaine, and of course, indecent Christopher Jones. And this is the drone he used to peer through a woman's bathroom window. It doesn't work anymore because she caught it, destroyed it, and reported the incident to the police.
Good.
After some investigation, officers tracked down the owner and confronted Jones in front of his house.
Yep.
How you doing?
Dude's an idiot.
Yeah, I already spoke to the owner. They were worried about you for some particular reason. So I called the owner. I called the.
Is that his kids and wife, bro? Oh my gosh. What a story you gotta tell. Or at least the police
said
officers.
That you had called. They were more concerned because apparently you never call out. You're always there, and they were just. The way you were saying sorry, they were just very concerned about you for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but
I'm actually surprised that you guys are here for this.
Really?
I was waiting for you guys to come pick me up.
For something that happened earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you talked to anybody about that?
What do you mean?
Like detective-wise or anything?
No.
Do you still have to? Are you still registered?
No, I mean that my prior incident.
That's all.
That's all done. It's almost 25 years ago.
Okay. All right.
Oh, so he was a prior incident.
It's not exactly astonishing that the man caught peeping was already a convicted offender. Due to the nature of the case, officers didn't have enough evidence to take him in just yet.
we're asking if you would like to get in your own truck, follow us down to the station, speak with the detective that's going to be handling the case. Maybe it's a misunderstanding, maybe it's not. We don't know, it's still being investigated. So, as of right now, there's no charges against you, okay?
Yeah.
So we're not going to take you. If you would like to come down to the station and clear this all up on your own, we would really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's completely up to you at this point.
Well, if there's no charges against me right now.
Correct.
Right
We
now.
would like to clear this whole incident up. Obviously, you came out and you said some things to us.
Right.
We would like to clear this up. If you would like to come down and speak with the detective that's going to be handling this case and clear the air today, we would appreciate that. Like I said, it's completely up to you.
Yeah. My only fear is that I go down there and I speak to the detective, and not with legal representation, and then I end up staying there. You know.
Listen, if you'd like to call an attorney, speak to whoever you need to, and then come down and speak with them.
Still by choice. So.
The owner of my company, I spoke to him this morning.
Okay.
And he has a lawyer that he uses, and he was going to run the situation by him to get his legal advice.
Okay.
And then refer me to someone who specializes in this sort of.
Jones was hesitant to follow the officers down to the station, not very surprising considering how his drone was found outside his victim's house around 11 p.m. as she was preparing to take a shower. The officers had no choice but to let him go free, at first.
Like I said, we really appreciate you being so cooperative with us.
Well,
and
you know, I mean, like I said before, you guys have a hard job, and you know,
that's why, like I said, you have your rights, and we're not going to say you have to come down. We would like to clear this up today, and whoever you end up talking to, just if you would like to come down and clear the air, clear whatever this is up, we'd be more than happy to get this done and over with today. Okay? So, like I said, you're absolutely free to go.
Okay.
So, all right.
Well, I appreciate your concern for originally coming down.
Yeah. No, that was the whole thing. Is they were very concerned about you.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll make a call to them and just let them know that
Even though they said he was free to go, the officers returned about 20 minutes later to pick him up.
Just come outside for me.
You want me to grab my wallet?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I knew when you guys hung around that.
I'm gonna take it out of your pocket, okay?
Oh, yeah, okay.
We're gonna do it. I'll cut you out the car. We're not gonna do it for any neighbors.
All right.
You've been nothing but good with us. I'm not gonna do that to you.
Well, I was gonna ask you if you could, give me a little courtesy. I know it's not protocol, but.
Oh yeah. No. It's all tinted back here. They won't even see it. Good. Let's see. I don't want those to tighten up on you.
You could track everything. Anything that he doesn't have a VPN. If he's
Jones was
doing weirdo
arrested and
stuff.
charged with one felony count of video voyeurism. If found guilty, he's looking at up to 3 years in jail and $5,000 in fines.
Duh.
And to hear that my child was already victim number 2 was just a whole nother level of nightmare and fear.
The mother of a little girl recounts the scary situation her daughter escaped.
Here's one thing you need to do before you buy anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
From. It was on Friday when a man was arrested, accused of assaulting an 8-year-old girl at a thrift store in Sandusky.
The man in question was 19-year-old Andrew Jewell, and on the 25th of August 2023, he allegedly grabbed an 8-year-old girl and pulled her into the bathroom of a thrift store in Sanilac County, Michigan. The little girl was rescued by her family and the police were immediately contacted.
And when you found him, she was in the bathroom?
She was in the bathroom and he was in the bathroom behind the door, because the door opens.
Okay.
And I saw her trying to get away and crying.
Okay, did he have a hand on her or just she was trying to?
I couldn't see because the door, I could see half of her.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. I've got everything I need from you guys.
Okay.
Why don't you guys go ahead? Just take off. We'll get back with you guys when we have more information, okay? What happened?
Yep. What? Somebody, kid that works there tried to pull her into the bathroom.
Is he in there? No, hey, is he in there? Stay here. No. Is he in there? I'm gonna go deal with that in a moment, okay?
Did you pull him into that?
Like I said, why don't you guys go ahead, head on home, and I'll get a hold of you.
Maybe that is for
Having been briefed on the situation, the officer went inside to confront Andrew. Leading the way was Tom Bowser, the manager of the store and the homeless shelter Andrew was staying at.
Bowser.
So, is this the bathroom in question?
So, where I questioned it was,
Just head right in here and we'll talk in just a moment.
We're right there in a second. So, this is what he explained to me. That he was in the bathroom, okay? Mm-hmm. And he said someone pushed in, he went like this. And he went like this, grab and said, hey, you can't be in here. But, you guys get over here.
Head on in there.
So, I'll forward it to you.
Yep.
Let you...
You got ID on you?
Yes, but can I talk to you?
I need your ID so I know who I'm talking to first.
I'm gonna go to jail, ain't I? Because everybody's gonna believe everything.
You snatched up a little girl, bro. What do you think? Usually I like solutions, and I'm pretty good at them. But for these, they're so easily masked for these types of weirdos that go around and like children to the weirdest level, bro.
Is he gonna pose a tape?
That's what he's doing.
Alright, can I talk, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was in the bathroom. Before I shut the door, I told her, because they pick a free toy, you can ask them up there. I told them that you guys can get a free toy. Because they go there looking at toys. I shut the door. When I was using the bathroom, the little girl walked in on me. And she made it halfway in the doorway. I freaked out and tried to slam the door, and it hit her. That's why she was crying. I can't go to jail, dude. I'm on probation.
What are you on probation for?
A misdemeanor assault. I can't.
Misdemeanor assault for what?
I don't know.
Where do you live at?
The rescue mission. Please, I can't go to jail.
Andrew continued to lament the fact that he was about to face the consequences of his actions. He was well aware that with his rap sheet, he'd be facing more than a little bit of jail time. As we're going to find out shortly, Andrew was on probation for a very similar offense.
Wow.
Just wanted to give you guys some privacy.
No problem.
Tom. I can't go to jail. What? No, you got this.
What the heck is this, yo?
I'm sure.
I want to make sure I have your name on.
I have a question. Can we step out the back?
When did you get in trouble in?
About a year ago, over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago almost.
Okay, and what did you get in trouble for?
Assault.
What happened?
I got into a fight.
With who?
A friend of mine. We were at the movie theater. Him and me got in an argument after the movie. Started a whole entire fight. The police showed up.
That was a lie. Andrew wasn't on probation because of a fight. No, Andrew was convicted of assault and battery after following a 10-year-old girl into a bathroom in Saginaw County, Michigan in 2022. Before making any arrests, the officers took a brief moment to look through the security camera footage and came to an obvious conclusion.
You're doing the same thing, bruh.
Yep.
Hey, can I pick your stuff up? Please. Can I talk?
But you just lied too, bro. I mean, obviously the police don't know yet, but but you lied, stating that it was a fight that you got into at the theater with your friend. But yet it's literally the same thing for stalking a little girl. That's so weird, bro. I have almost no words to state that. That's disgusting. That's weird.
You first.
I already talked to you.
Okay, hold up.
Can I talk to you first?
I'm telling you, I swear to God, I was in the bathroom.
He gonna swear to God and watch. He probably don't believe in God. Tripping.
See, the reason why she was crying, she hit her head. I swear to God, I wouldn't lie. Please.
Please.
I swear to God.
Please, Mr. Wabbit. Please. Have mercy. Have mercy on me, Mr. Wabbit. This dude about to get snatched up in jail. Watch.
I got a problem with your statement because I got the little girl saying you grabbed her by the shoulder. I got the brother who said you grabbed her by the shoulder, and the mom says she was trying to get out of the bathroom and had to pull away from somebody to get out.
Can I explain? Can I walk you to the bathroom and show you what
we were just there.
No, but can I show you? Can I show you when walk to the bathroom? Dad, stay on the phone, please. All right. So I'm sitting on the toilet. Open the door real quick. Just open it. She walks right. She opens the door and walks right there. I hurry up and get up and try to pull my pants up, and I grab her shoulder. Like I said, then the little boy came around the corner, and when I tried to push her out, the door got stuck with my foot. It kept pushing, so I'm trying to pull my pants up and push her out. And that's when she hit her head right there. That's when she started crying, and the little boy saw me put my hands on her shoulder, because I put my hands on her shoulder to stop her from coming in fully, and that's when I pushed her out. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I swear to God, please.
Go ahead and get off the phone.
You taking me to jail?
Yeah.
Please. Please.
You will see grown men cry. Go.
I swear.
Stop.
I swear. I didn't do nothing. Please. Can I at least speak to Tom before I go? Can I at least speak to him?
Can you stop screaming?
Yes.
Andrew was arrested and walked out of the store, but not without a tearful goodbye first.
the situation.
Tom, please, please, Tom.
So here's
Please.
the situation we're under. We're gonna ask you to leave the shelter, even if you do get bailed out. I will have your stuff. Do you want me to call Jennifer and have her come pick up your stuff? You cannot stay at our shelter. You're no longer welcome. Okay.
Hey, listen. Can you at least listen to me?
Okay.
Can I say one name, Tom? One name, please. I'm begging you. So, if I'm going to jail, am I getting out?
You are no longer welcome at our shelter.
So why I have to go to jail if I don't go to the shelter?
No, you're still going to jail.
Is there another shelter?
That's up to the judge and that stuff. They're Saginaw.
Yep.
Can I at least call you while I'm in the jail? Please.
Jennifer would be
What is
better
it?
off to help you at this point.
Listen to me. Can I say?
He gonna have to be begging and pleading for that butt, cause it's he either gonna be somebody's, you know what I'm saying, holding somebody's pocket, or he's gonna wind up in fight for his dear life every day, cause he just looks punchable, like. Because the moment they find out his papers in there, boy. And he already looked guilty, bro. So it doesn't. And the moment he starts talking, it doesn't get any better. He just starts wailing.
One name, Tom. One name, please. I'm begging you. So, if I'm going to jail, am I getting out?
You are no longer welcome at our shelter.
So why I have to go to jail if I don't go to the shelter?
No, you're still going to jail.
Is there another shelter?
That's up to the judge and that stuff. They're Saginaw.
Yep.
Can I at least call you while I'm in the jail? Please.
Jennifer would be better off to help you at this point. I mean, there's nothing I can do.
If a guy wants a second chance with a girl who got away, or a woman who's slipping away right now, there is
For you.
I swear I didn't, Tom.
That's up to.
I swear to God.
That's someone else besides me to decide.
I swear to God, Tom.
I don't decide that. Officer Jessica doesn't decide that. So that's stuff beyond us.
I swear to God, Tom.
Okay.
I swear to God. Thank you for everything, Tom, but I swear to God.
Andrew was charged with unlawful imprisonment, kidnapping, child enticement, and assault and battery. If found guilty, he's looking at up to 15 years in prison and a fine of up to $20,500.
Oh my gosh, bro. Yeah, you're not getting out, bro. 15 years? I guarantee you he was sobbing in court, bro. So if he's 19, just say he's 20. 15 years, that's 35. I'm sorry. So 45. Damn. You gonna get out when he's 45, bro. You did 45, 35. I'm tripping. Wait, no. Why am I not mathing right now? Jesus. 20 plus 15. Yeah, 35. 35. And that's also not accounting if something happens in jail to where he has to protect himself or whatever, like assault or killing somebody, bro. Then that's another 5-10 years tacked on. Getting out at 35, and your fine is up to $20,000.
However, punishment for kidnapping, child enticement can go all the way to life in prison.
Oh!
And in Tampa.
And that's only if he hasn't been convicted yet.
Thank you for everything, Tom, but I swear to God.
Andrew was charged with unlawful imprisonment, kidnapping, child enticement, and assault and battery. If found guilty, he's looking at up to 15 years in prison and a fine of up to $20,500. However, punishment for kidnapping, child enticement can go all the way to life in prison.
And that's if he's found guilty. He was already on probation because of something similar to this, like very, very close to it. Now, he does the same. Oh my gosh, bro! Life in prison. You're only 19, bro. I guarantee you just got your driver's license, if that. Well, threw your whole life away for children that weren't even half your age, bro.
And in Tampa, Florida, 2 children are now safe after a man stole a truck with a 4- and 8-year-old still inside, but a deputy caught that truck within minutes.
On the 10th of October 2022, a deputy was flagged down by the owner of a Chevrolet Silverado. He told the deputy that his truck had been stolen with his 2 children still inside. The officer immediately gave chase and caught up with the driver, 37-year-old Kevin Smith.
Stop the truck! Now! Pull into the parking lot! Roll the window down. Why are you doing with the kids? What's going on? Roll the window down, bro. These not your car? Step out of the car. Step out of the car, bro. Okay, step out of the car. Help me on you. Is that you? Alright, let me figure it out, okay? Put that bottle away. Put that bottle away. Okay, put that bottle away. Okay. I'm gonna ask you to step out of the car and help me out. Okay? What do you mean not you? Not me. Okay. So let me figure out. I don't know what's going on. Step out so you can get out. You're gonna step out. I cannot let you. Give me the car keys.
Snatch him out. Get him up out of there. Get him up out of there.
I know where your dad is. I saw him running this way. Give me the car keys. I'm not asking you twice. Give me the car keys. Alright. Step out. I don't know. I step out. I need to figure out. I cannot let you in the car. If I step out, you're gonna punch me. I'm not gonna punch you, bro. No, I promise you. You will. I promise you.
You say you gonna punch me?
If I step out, you will. I'm not gonna punch you, bro. Alright. Step out. I don't know. I step out. I need to figure out. I cannot let you in the car.
You're gonna punch me. If I step out, you're gonna punch me.
If I step out, you're gonna punch me. I'm not gonna punch you, bro. No, I promise you. You will. I promise you. You will. If I step out, you're gonna punch me.
Chances of survival decrease dramatically if a kidnapper takes his victim to a secondary location. Lucky for the children, this officer acted fast.
Yeah.
Is this?
Yeah.
Alright, step out of the car. Not like that. Step out of the car, bro.
This ain't even your car, bro.
Step out of the car. Step out of the car.
Yeah. You're gonna have to get him up out, yo.
Stay here. I need to figure out what's going on. That's all.
Razor 103.
Razor 103. Come here.
Do you need your 94 1018 or you 4?
I'm 10-4, not 10-18.
The 2 children were unharmed and were returned to safety to their father. Smith faces 1 count of grand theft motor vehicle and 2 counts of felony kidnapping. He's facing up to life imprisonment if found guilty. Click the video on screen.
Sure enough, that's what that man get, man. That's crazy. 2 hours. Ooh. Chained woman found and shed of TikToker. Huh. Ooh. I gotta watch that one soon. Very soon. Let's go to the serial killer nun. This one has to be pretty intense. For sure.
This woman on screen holds true stories like you wouldn't believe. She's been dubbed the most evil woman in the history of mankind. With both the appearance and profession of a full-time abbess, Mariam Solacutis deceived everyone around her for decades. Her main reasons? Money and power. By the end of her reign, Mariam Solacutis would be arrested and known as the nun serial killer. This is no horror movie
This is
script.
the first time I've ever
This
heard
is
of this.
unfortunately a very real story.
Marina Solacutu was born in 1883 in Greece. Belonging to an impoverished family, she didn't have much to look forward to. So she continued to work at her family farm. Despite her humble background, Marina had high aspirations. She dreamt of a life of wealth and power. Some accounts suggest that Marina worked at a factory to earn daily wages for her family. It's easy to imagine what kind of life Marina was living before she became a nun. Waking up at dawn and having a simple breakfast, or maybe no breakfast at all, depending upon the availability of food in the house. Working on the farm could not have been fun for a teenage girl. Getting a job at a factory would not have made things any easier. However, she did not lose her grit, or better yet, the rigor to become a formidable personality. Since Marina didn't have many prospects for earning, she chose the one path that could help her make her dreams come true. She decided to become a nun and join the old Calandrus Church. Matthew Carpathakis was the head monk of the Calandrus Church when Marina was 23 years old. The meeting took place when Matthew was having trouble accepting the tenets of the old Calandrus Church. He was completely alienated from the teachings of the old church and decided to start a new convent. As luck would have it, Marina joined Matthew when he started his sect called the New Calandrus Church, and Marina Solacutu became Mariam Solacutis. Who would know that the woman who took the pure name of Miriam would soon wreak havoc on the lives of the very people who followed and believed in the church? Of course, no one could predict what would become of the New Calandrus Church when Miriam took over. But the signs were not good. Miriam rose through the church ranks and soon became a confidant of the Archbishop Matthew of Viresna. When Matthew entered into a conflict with the old Calandrus Church, Miriam was by his side. They laid the foundation of the Panagia Fefkuno Gotrisu Monastery, or the Convent of the Virgin, in the Pines in 1927, located between the town of Tehe and the rural villages of Karke, Thulasa. Matthew had been planning to set up his own monastery for the last few years, and Miriam helped to get him access to the land. She came into an additional 7 acres of land, and later that year, she acquired 2 more plots of land. No one knows how she was able to secure so much property. The Greek author Nila Koulitakis writes, having reviewed long, sympathetic Matthewite histories of the monastery, there is no legal explanation as to how the nuns acquired the money to make these expensive property purchases. The official announcement made by Matthew at the unveiling of the monastery was to honor the presentation of the Virgin Mary. However, the true reason for building the monastery was to gather funds desperately needed to support the old Calandrus movement. Both Miriam and Matthew were tactful in hiding their true intentions when they started this new convent. They were the face of honesty, integrity, and faith for the very people who were innocent enough to believe in them. Faith was indeed the driving force for the believers of the Calandrus movement. Of course, the movement would have continued to thrive if its proponents were as devoted as they seemed to be. Things might not have taken such a dark turn if Miriam had the same faith as those around her. She would not have resorted to violence extortion, and outright blackmail if she held on to her own faith. Building a monastery is not an easy task, especially when you have limited funds. The fact that Miriam and Matthew were able to build a monastery from scratch seemed miraculous, not to say the least. None of the founding nuns came from money, so how did they collect all the church resources? The mysterious funding had a gruesome truth at its core, which would soon come to the...
How do you take 20,000 children in the middle of New York City without anybody seeing? They are being put into buses. They are given certain clothes. Some of them were taken out in boxes. You can call them crates. You can call them caskets of dead people, although they were live children in there.
I mean, we could talk about tunnels all we want. The non-believers will say, where's the proof?
When I go into the tunnels, I can't take my phone, and if you're going to do it, the psychopaths will eliminate you. So some pictures I saw that are real, and I was surprised to see them.
But there are many children down there.
Yes. But they're not in the main rooms. They're in the hidden rooms within the walls of the tunnels.
Do you have an idea of the number of children that we're talking about?
It's huge. It's numbers you can't comprehend.
Wow. That's something I'll probably see.
The Convent of the Virgin in Pine was advertised as a healing center for tuberculosis, or TB. The monastery was built at a high altitude, and since there wasn't a cure for TB at the time, people who did not have the means to get medical treatment came to the monastery as a safe haven. People started to come to the monastery in throngs so they could heal themselves, and Marian welcomed them with pleasure. Although there was no particular medical facility available at the monastery, people were excited to venture into the fold of this new sect. Marian would settle multiple patients into a single room. She would not let any doctors visit the patients unless they had to sign a death certificate. This negligent practice would have gone unnoticed if Mariam had not started another gruesome practice at her monastery. Meanwhile, Mariam was enjoying the spotlight of the new Calandrus church. Archbishop Matthew was already aging when the monastery was built, reaching the age of 66, while Mariam was in the prime of her youth. She saw how Matthew ran the activities of the monastery. She had to take over some of the responsibilities when Matthew was taken to prison. After he came back, he continued on a spiritual journey as a Hiro monk. He would do 40-day fasts and stay in isolation to get close to God. While Matthew was going through his spiritual journey with heavy metal chains tied around his waist, his apprentice decided to put others under duress. Little did Matthew know that the sweet-looking Mariam would turn out to be a tyrant in his own monastery. When Matthew was on his deathbed, Archbishop Chrysostomos of Florina came to visit him. The Archbishop wanted to bury the hatchet and possibly end the division in the Calandrus church. Before Matthew could try to say anything to Chrysostomos, Mariam barged into the room with all the nuns and told them to leave. We can only speculate how the healing of the division would have came about. We can never know what kind of effects it would have had on the future of the Calandrus church, as Mariam had snuffed out all hope for an agreement. Archbishop Matthew's health had started to decline in 1939, and Mariam was now in charge of the monastery.
What is that?
By this point in Matthew's life,
She is straight up
he was
ninja
only
at
a
that
shadow of his former self. He had to rely on Mariam to make important decisions, and soon left everything under her supervision. After waiting for 11 years, Mariam was finally given the title of Mother of Mariam of Tehe. Her lifelong ambition of gaining control was complete. She was the abbess of the Feth Kunogo Trisa monastery. She would wear the Greek-style cloth head covering, a black veil that covered her forehead and eyebrows, This piece of clerical clothing was only worn by high-ranking Eastern Orthodox nuns. She had decided to gather as much wealth as she could. She did not care what methods she had to use to get the job done. It's hard to pinpoint exactly when Miriam descended into murderous wrath. However, it is evident that she started her ascetic practices soon after she became an abbess. Her strong character had evolved into a formidable force. She wanted to amass as much wealth for her monastery as she could. When the news of Miriam's activities was made public, she was named Mother Rasputin by the media. Donating to charity may seem like the most humane thing a person.
In just 2 weeks, I lost 36 pounds. I have more energy, better mood. I feel attractive.
Person can do. But what if that donation is based on fear? That is exactly what Miriam did. Her crimes went far beyond the suspicions of illegal imports that she was first convicted of. She had destroyed a number of lives by trying to treat patients suffering from TB. With many people suffering from isolation and pain, Miriam was involved in hundreds of negligent homicides. She collected millions of dollars worth of property in the names of girls' dowries. She could first trap a wealthy family by promising them salvation. If they did not agree, she would tie them up in her basement and torture them until they succumbed to her wishes. She would lock people up until they died of starvation.
Wow.
Nobody knows exactly how many people were doomed to the fate obtained by the abbess of the monastery, but a total of 27 murders were estimated by the Greek police. Mr. and Mrs. Becca were devout followers of the Calandrous Church. They were impressed by the courage shown by the Archbishop Matthew and his monastery. Mrs. Becca's theological bent toward the church led her to studying with Miriam Solacutus. Alas, she was not aware of the horrendous practices of the so-called abbess. She had already pledged her whole property to the church, but when she realized that Miriam was resorting to violence to get her way, she tried to leave with her 2 children. Miriam couldn't bear to lose such a golden opportunity and locked Mrs. Becca in a cell. Mrs. Becca was forced to live in a cell where patients with TB had died. She would wail and cry out for help, but no one could hear her pleas.
Oh.
Since the monastery was on top of a mountain, it proved to be the perfect dungeon for Miriam's diabolical plans. She would only allow a few mouthfuls of food to be given to the imprisoned Mrs. Becca. When Miriam decided to release Mrs. Becca, the woman was a mere shell of her former self. She fell into a coma, and Miriam did not do anything to help the woman.
She's evil,
Instead,
bro.
she let Mrs. Becca rot and die in the prison she called a monastery. Mr. Becca was also placed in isolation until he fell ill and succumbed to a lonely and painful death. Imagine visiting a monastery to get spiritual enlightenment and then coming back with nothing but an empty bank account. Unfortunately, the next victims, Mr. and Mrs. Panna Yadapolio, were not lucky enough to get away with their lives or their home. Miriam told them that they would be cleared of all their sins if they joined her. Instead, she held them hostage and starved them until they put their property in Miriam's name.
So
Miriam was not
super
one to leave loose
manipulative.
threads and decided that it would be best if the Panayotopoulios would leave this world once and for all. Getting a TB diagnosis was a death sentence in the early 1900s. Doctors could only lessen the patient's pain as they had no cure. Miss Mikalaku received her death sentence when she was told she had TB. When she heard the convent of the Virgin was off.
Is it tuberculosis? What is TB?
Offering treatment for her disease, she was overjoyed. When she arrived at the monastery, she was expecting some type of spiritual treatment. She was horrified when the nuns took her to a cell and left her there. She wasn't given any medicines and was only fed a few tiny meals. Soon, Miss Mikalakos began to get weaker. She suffered the same fate as many others under Miriam's ruthless supervision. She died
TB
alone
is
and in
tuberculosis.
agony, without a single loved one by her side. Not everyone living under Miriam's rule was happy with the way she conducted her business. Sister Theodote
Who would be happy?
tried to speak out against the abbess's cruel method, but Miriam was not one to take this lightly. She accused Sister Theodote of misconduct and ordered that the nuns should be beaten as a punishment. The rest of the nuns had no choice but to follow the orders. They beat Sister Theodote until she suffered an internal hemorrhage. She died on the spot because of the intense beating and had paid her penance for disagreeing with the abbess. Anyone who tried to stand against Mother Rasputin would face her wrath. Sister Maria also spoke out against Mariam and was punished with a ruthless beating.
That's insane.
When she arrived at the hospital, she was injured beyond recognition.
Wow.
She had internal bleeding, with her vital organs damaged.
Jeez.
The doctors tried to save her life, but no form of medical treatment can compensate for the brutality meted out by Mariam Solacutis. Sister Maria took her last breath and was finally released from the clutches of the Calandras Church.
It's so crazy. Like,
the Calandras Church
demonic
denied that Mariam Solacutis had anything to do with the murders. However, there have been multiple witness statements that say otherwise. Solacutis would lure innocent people into her monastery and promise them salvation. Instead, they would be tied up in a basement and forced to transfer all of their property to Mariam's name. Mariam was tried for 7 murders. Authorities estimated that she had killed at least 27 people by starvation, negligent homicides, and beatings in the name of penance. Religious figures hold authority over people. Mariam Solacutis' crimes went undetected because no one believed that she could be capable of such villainy. Had she been an ordinary woman, things would have been completely different.
Yeah.
As luck would have it, Mariam continued to send monks all across Greece to find wealthy spinsters, widows, and families. She would lure these innocent believers into donating to the monastery and steal the donations.
Wow.
One day the police received an anonymous tip. The source informed the police that an elderly woman had donated all of her property to the monastery.
Greece,
the woman's daughter was certain that her mother would not have pledged the money without being forced. This accusation was not enough to put Mariam under arrest. The police started investigating Mariam's mysterious sources of wealth. They discovered that the abbess was involved in the illegal import of olive oil and other spices. However, the charge of illegal imports was not enough to arrest a high-profile figure like Mariam. After some time, a woman named Eugenia Margetta came forward stating that she was held in isolation by the monastery's abbess. She further alleged that she had been tortured to surrender her property, worth $118 million, which was equivalent to $80,000 US at the time. In 1949, Christos Spirides went to the Greek police searching for his daughter, Samila Spirides, who went missing that year. The FBI traced Samila back to the monastery. The father of the 18-year-old girl said that he had been convinced by a nun named Mariam to give away property worth $10,000 US. He told the police that the nun had visited the United States to collect the property donated to the monastery. The Associated Press later revealed that Christo was reunited with his daughter. The police continued to investigate the allegations made against Mariam Solacutis. They found out that the monastery practiced asceticism and did not allow any doctors to treat patients suffering from TB. Almost 150 people died due to the absence of medical treatment while they were staying at the monastery. As the investigation continued, the police discovered various victims who talked about the abbess who used to beat them for small misdemeanors. she was in the habit of locking up her victims in solitary confinement. Those who survived revealed how Maryam used to stare at them until they would crumble and transfer their properties in her name.
Now she's an old lady. You can put the
The
paws
news
on her, she
agency
gonna crumble.
Reuters reported at the time of her arrest, Maryam had almost 300 homes and farms in her name.
Wow.
Moreover, she had collected gold and jewels worth thousands of pounds during her treacherous reign as Mother Rasputin. On the night of the 4th of December, 1950, when Maryam Solakutis was sound asleep in her magnificent chambers, the police entered the monastery. A total of 85 police officers searched the grounds of the monastery. They had anticipated the murders committed by Maryam and brought a deputy prosecutor, a judge, and a coroner with them. The operation lasted throughout the night. They rescued 36 children. The police had to physically grab the children from the hands of the nuns. According to the police, they were also rescued. Several half-naked, malnourished, and sick elderly women tied up in basements. The case of Maryam Solakutis was extremely sensitive. The prosecutors were not sure whether they would be able to convict her on the charges of fraud and embezzlement. They began her trial under the charge of importing illegal olive oil and tires. However, the authority of the Calandrist Church would soon end. Maryam's worship, called the Matthewites, was outlawed in January 1951. The Archbishop Spiridion Vlachos of Athens and the Metropolitan Chrysostomos of Florina could not reconcile their differences. The old Calandrist Church was dismantled, and Maryam could not use religion as an excuse for her heinous crimes. The public prosecutor was free to indict the ruthless nun, and he did not spare a single detail of her life of crime. He indicted Solakutis with all the crimes she had committed in the last 10 years, including homicide, fraud, forgery of wills, blackmail, and torture. Solakutis continued to portray herself as a pious nun during her trials. She wore an Orthodox icon honoring the late Matthew, ordaining him with the name Saint Matthew, the new confessor. She rejected all charges against her, calling them satanic fictions. Maybe Maryam had convinced herself that everything she had done was in the name of religion. You could say that Maryam had brought back the Salem witch trials, where innocent people were hanged to death, to let the church take over their property. She stood in the courtroom like a cold, heartless monster whose only aim was to satisfy her own greed. As she heard the charges brought against her, she would cross herself and make a prayer of vengeance to Saint Matthew. She knew that she did not have any defense, no matter what legal loophole she tried to use. The defense attorney said that people who came into the monastery would take a vow of property. They would hand over all of their property to the monastery of their own free will. He claimed that the property was transferred to Maryam's name because the monastery did not have a legal setup. The enormity of Maryam's crimes resulted in 3 separate trials. The first trial was conducted in the years 1951 and 1952. The second one continued into 1953, and the third and last trial was concluded a few months before her death. She was convicted for 26 months after her first trial, 10 years after the second trial, and 4 consecutive months in her last trial. Maryam's sentence in 1951 came as a shock to Matthewites all across Greece. They held a rally to liberate their leader from the clutches of the legal system.
Wow.
They demanded that she should be released and returned to her rightful place. The police had to protect the Archbishop Spiridion. There was a dangerous possibility of the Calandrists kidnapping the Archbishop and demanding Maryam's release in prison. Mariam Solocutis was incarcerated in the Averof prison located on Alexander's Avenue in Athens. She spent the last part of her life as isolated as her victims, but she did not suffer the same end. The total length of her sentence was 14 years, but she only spent a year or so in prison before she fell ill. She was rushed to the hospital where she died at the age of 71. Solocutis had more than 400 followers when she was in power. Almost 500 people gave away their property to the monastery by drafting a will in Mariam's name. The same number of people died in the monastery due to disease, starvation, or torture. The Matthewite nurses continued to pray for the intercession of Holy Mariam, as they think she is the model of purity and piety. The Calandrists continued to thrive under new leadership. No one knows who took over from the formidable Mariam Solocutis. The woman who continued would vanish without a trace. They were adept at hiding their identity as well as their location. They revered Mariam Solocutis as their true saint and claimed that the male priests and monks were jealous of Mariam's success. When asked about the hundreds of deaths in the monastery, the Matthewites explained that the people who joined the church were already very old. The fact that they died was God's will, rather than Mariam's negligence. Mariam Solocutis left a deep mark on the pages of history. Many Greek writers have explored the life of the ruthless murderer who hid behind the veil of fate. Nina Kulataki explains the vindictive nature of the abbess in her book, Murderesses, published in 2019 by saying, "It is only by happenstance that the monastery used the old Julian calendar rather than its revised form. Only a cunning, shrewd abbess like Solocutis would have had equal success, regardless of her brand of Greek Orthodox Christianity." Carrie Seagrave, who wrote an exhaustive account of Mariam Solocutis in her book, Woman, Serial, and Mass Murderers, stated that the prosecutors estimated the total number of victims as 177. At the end of the day, the story of Mariam Solocutis is a story of faith. Those who believe in Mariam would never think of her as a murderer. However, the overwhelming evidence stirs the faith of those who believe in humanity. The brutality with which Mariam ruled her monastery does not leave much to the imagination. She used everything in her power to amass as much wealth as she could. As Erich Fromm says, greed is a bottomless pit that exhausts the person in an endless effort to satisfy the need without ever reaching satisfaction. Everything that could be done to torture people out of their wealth was done by Mariam. Her faith pushed her to the limits of fanaticism until she could not see black from white. She chose to shroud herself in a black habit because it was the color of her heart. The lesson remains that one should not judge a book by its cover, even if that cover is in the form of a nun's habit. Thanks for tuning in to Twisted Minds. That was the case of Mariam Solocutis, and why don't you go ahead and click on one of the 2 videos on your screen for another one of our videos.
That's a different one. I mean, I know there's things that go on along.
This is what it looks like when police officers catch.
I know that there's like things that go on with religion or the church and everything, but I mean, I ain't never heard nothing like that one. That one was pretty wild. That's crazy. Let me see. I want to do another police chase.
Copy. Oh, sorry about that. We're having IFB issues. Right now you can see heavy traffic down there. Sheriff's Department, they know what they're doing. Trained professionals. They've got their guys on the ground to back off, and hopefully this driver in this BMW will slow down. Start just driving a little bit more with a little bit more safety, and just Stop doing all this stuff that we're seeing right there, these extremely dangerous moves. Now, he was on the freeway for some point. Looks like we're making our way back onto a freeway right now. Almost took out that gore point. And, you know, those are the things. When we see these reckless drivers go against, go up against the curb like that, hit a gore point, start using those emergency lanes, the first thing that comes in my mind is hopefully he picks up a flat tire. That'll bring this thing to an end very, very quickly. Now I can tell you we made our way onto the 605 freeway where we're going to be northbound on the 605. I got the map up there for you guys, but this vehicle continuing to move along out here. And again, now they're talking about possibly giving this to the California Highway Patrol, but they have to get their guys in position. So the helicopter, the sheriff's helicopter, staying above, high speeds that you can see right there. Burglary suspects in that vehicle. Don't know if there's some other than just the driver, but right now, still very high speeds this morning. At least we're on the freeway.
High speed. He going along with the traffic. What you mean? He said very high speeds, bro. He's going with the traffic. This nigga is driving like he's late to work. That's normal. What are we talking about right now? 85, 86. That's still like normal. Okay.
I'm not saying that
he getting up there. He getting up there, baby.
By any means, but when at least we're not running those red lights.
Okay, he's triple digits down. Now I say he's at high speeds.
Barreling through there. Right now, though, we're on the freeway. Everybody's going that same direction. Speeds up there where we actually get pushing.
He said very high speed. This dude is going 65, bro.
Not saying that it can't do it. That seems to be an older, bigger BMW. I don't know if that's a 5 or a 7. But the helicopter, the sheriff's helicopter, definitely overhead. They're keeping an eye on this. They're calling it out. I believe they are giving the heads up to California Highway Patrol. If they're going to relinquish it, that's a different story because that has to be an official, like, okay, guys, it's yours. The helicopter may stay with it until the sheriff's, until the California Highway Patrol helicopter can join it. Right now, though, these suspects still fleeing, high speeds, northbound 605 in the Azusa area, and again, just keeping moving the same direction as traffic. We haven't seen them cut anybody off. That's a huge plus. But as far as law enforcement, nobody's really behind them.
Play War Thunder now. Join millions of players across the globe in massive battles on Tehe.
And that's one of those things where, the guy in that, or the suspect behind that wheel should just kind of look around, calm down a little bit, and maybe just kind of get your foot out of it. We understand that you are running, but you know what? Let's try to be safe. Let's hope nobody gets hurt. Even on the freeway, we've seen these things go south. We've seen people lose their lives. We definitely don't want to see that this morning.
Where the cops at, bro? They could have already been on him. What they doing? Ain't got nobody on his butt. He out here free balling. They just got the helicopter on him. I mean, I get it, but all this time ain't not a single cop on his butt, bro.
This really is what I always see on the freeways. People are driving along. You're going, the California speed limit, 70 miles an hour, and then you look in the mirror, everything's clear, and this guy's coming down at 100 miles an hour. You're not expecting that, and that's where those accidents happen. This driver definitely on, but the driver is really starting to get aggressive, and now he's starting to hit the brakes. We need to get on the other side. Hang on.
What the heck? His tire go out? Smoking. Trying to get off the exit? Oh yeah, his tire gone, bro. His tire is gone, bro.
Yep. Just
Right. Yeah, that's not really a good idea, bro. Cause yeah, that's not a good idea. Cause it's about down to the nubs.
Just grinding it down. Hopefully, it'll start getting to the point where you'll lose something important, very important, like an oil pan. Start losing that oil, that engine will come to a stop, or possibly the vehicle starting to overheat, getting pushed so hard. But right now, you can see this car still rolling around here. Three tires. That's it. That front wheel is actually probably hindering that driving, if anything else. I can't imagine that he has any kind of solid maneuverability as this continues on. Southbound.
No, all you gotta do is touch him.
I was shocked.
You'll get the spinning.
I was doing the camera there. I was shocked when you said the speed. I looked up and I was like, oh my God, this guy is really going 70 miles an hour. There we go. The rim totally gone now. Completely gone. So
that boy looked like he driving smoother.
And that might have
Change lanes.
That actually might have given him a little bit more maneuverability, but it's not
Right.
going to give him any stopping power, and it's definitely not going to give him any kind of ability to make a sharp turn.
So what are y'all waiting for? That's my. Oh, okay, there's the car. I was about to say. I was like, dog. I had skipped a whole hour before any cop I saw in sight.
Jeff to get us away from the sound wall as we're making our way off the freeway there. Probably the best bet, but I'm really wondering what is he going to do when he gets to the bottom of the freeway. He's not going to have.
He can't stop at no stoplight, bro.
I'm wondering if this car is going to.
You gonna hit the brakes for it? Oh, damn! What blew up, bro? I saw that little flash.
That oil, that engine will come to a stop, or possibly the vehicle starting to overheat, getting pushed so hard. But right now, you can see this car still rolling around here off the freeway there.
You see a little flash that happens.
I'm really wondering what is he going to do when he gets to the bottom of the freeway.
Boom, right there.
He's not going to have any kind of braking power, and I'm wondering if this car is going to even continue afterwards.
It's wraps, brother. Think you only can make lefts.
Yeah, this would be the time to do the pit maneuver if they were going to,
Right.
if they could do it. And it looks like they're just going to be getting back onto the freeway. This is, I'm speechless. I'm completely speechless.
This dude is literally, well, his rims are gone. This dude, his other wheel is like barely touching the ground. Or, yeah. Damn, bro. He's still picking up speed. That's crazy.
But bizarre, and it just gets stranger and stranger. That car continues to move along. The freeway seems to be kind of open, like maybe they did some sort of traffic break. They could do a pit
Catch up to this boy, dog. Just bop him. Just touch him a little bit. I guarantee you, it'd be good.
But maybe that's part of their plan. Is maybe they can clear out the freeway. Maybe they can make their way over there and then basically be a little bit more aggressive.
Right.
This vehicle continues to go 70, 80 miles an hour. It is definitely on three wheels. That the car is definitely grinding every now and then. It's just the chassis just bottoming out whenever they hit a bump or anything. The wobbling is what worries me because I just don't want to see them lose control and hit other folks just driving to work this morning.
Oh, it is in the morning. Ah, that's funny. It don't even look like it's going, but it's going though.
The rear bumper definitely hanging off the back there.
I think they're stalling at this point. They know they're screwed because there's no way you getting out of this, buddy.
From the front, the rim coming apart, those pieces might have taken out the rear passenger as well, the rear passenger tire. Let's be clear with that. But this car continuing, this driver just keeps on pushing it. Look at the freeway though. Look at the freeway.
It's wide open, and I'm really kind of
I'm sure they have.
Like, why are they allowing this man to still drive?
Some cars out there right now, but California Highway Patrol and the suspect, I can't clarify that enough. These officers are, they are thinking about the safety of that lunatic behind the wheel. And right now, it's swerving around. Yep. That is true, especially with, now we're back in traffic. But it looks like, let's see if he's going to try to use that off ramp, but definitely in the emergency lane. I'm wondering if he slides off the roadway, that might disable the vehicle in a way where, if he gets stuck in the dirt, maybe he just can't go. But right now, still continuing on and making his way. Looks like we're going to just getting a little bit farther ahead to see if we have an off ramp. Yeah, see if he uses that off ramp once again. I don't know, Jeff. They're asking for when we really have to leave. Okay, we have another solid 10 as long as we stay around Long Beach.
10 miles left. That's probably where they're going then.
This car just falling apart.
He literally rode till the wheels fell off.
The side of the car as it would be. The other side is the one that really has all the damage on it. Continuing on, this is, I have to poke a little fun at it every now and then, but it really is very, very dangerous this morning. And there's so many close calls out here. We haven't seen, thank goodness we haven't seen any serious injuries, but this driver continuing to push this car, trying to, to get away. He's not going to get away. But right now, if something was in front of him and he had to brake hard, I find it hard to believe that that vehicle could stop in a timely manner. And that's really what I'm concerned about. And I'm sure a lot of the law enforcement
This thing is smoking, bro.
that same thing. 91 freeway.
I guarantee you could, whatever, I don't know, he's down to the nubs, but whatever metal he's grinding up on that side, you could cook some steak, bro.
A lot of these other cars. I'm surprised the blinker still works on that BMW.
That thing is still kicking. Wow. It's one little, oh, they're right there too. Why are they so close up to this car, bro?
The lights and sirens are definitely going to be helping the situation. You can see the California Highway Patrol, they have the advantage right now. That officer is slowing down every now and then speeding up when needed. When safe, that's probably the better way to say it. When safe, more parts of that.
Yeah, that thing just flinging off.
Probably hitting a lot of these other vehicles right there. Again, you know, people at home might be like, "Oh, you got a chip in your paint, big deal." I like my car. I don't want to have any chips in my paint. And,
this guy is talking.
This guy just kind of just flying through there. More parts just keep flying off of the car as he's passing all these vehicles.
These games are weird.
Is something to watch for sure. And California Highway Patrol, I'm sure they're thinking almost the same thing. Maybe they're just hoping that look at all that stuff coming off of it. So yeah, definitely. I'm sure that what we're seeing is parts of that rim. I thought that whole rim had come off earlier on, but it was still there. And it looks like here we go. Maybe the car is starting to give up. There's the rest of the bumper. It looks like he's trying to push his way through. And continuing on. Let's see what the law enforcement. You see, law enforcement, they have to follow the rules.
Oh, you got stuck, buddy.
What happened? Oh, no. I thought maybe he hit that bar.
You could stop him right there, bro. Oh, he hit the back of that car.
Yep. Oh!
Shut up.
They have to follow the rules. They have to be safe. Whoop. What happened? Oh, there's the rest of the bumper. It looks like he's trying to push his way through. And continuing on. Let's see what law enforcement. You see, law enforcement, they have to follow the rules. They have to be safe. Whoop. What happened? Oh, no. I thought maybe he hit that bar there on the truck.
Yeah, see, there's no dent right here in the van. There's gonna be a dent after, though. I thought boom, dent right there. That's crazy.
Yep. Oh! And you know, those maneuvers, they look so easy and so simple when we watch them, but they're not. These guys are highly trained. They have to do it right at the right moment, and they have to stay safe. But you can see that they're aggressively trying when the opportunity appears. That driver, that CHP officer, definitely going to get a gold star when he gets back to base today, for at least for effort, trying and keeping up with him. If he gets off the freeway, I think that CHP officer is going to be very aggressive.
Yeah, applying that pressure now.
I think we were there a while ago. We passed that point. That's the point of no return. Yeah, this BMW keeps on driving. It's amazing that the other tires are holding on. That front one, don't know how he lost it, but at least he did. And again, California Highway Patrol right on his tail right there. It's had to slow down, probably because of some safety issues. Oh, he hit a cone. So that definitely means that there is some construction coming up. I'm wondering if the emergency lane might be closed out here. If it is, that might create some more problems for that driver. But right now, I'm kind of hoping he just gets off the freeway. The CHP can do that pit maneuver, and everybody can go home.
Oh, he's trying to take him out now.
Be able to do that. See, as long as he's around those other vehicles, they're not going to be able to do it because
They had a whole like 45 minutes to do a pit maneuver, and he was in wide open road, and they're just letting him free ball it.
7 Series on that emergency lane, California Highway Patrol right behind him.
That's all they've been is right behind him, bro. After like 40 minutes.
Look at all that smoke coming out the bottom. He has got to be bottomed out. He has got to be bottomed out. All that heat being created. There's got to be some oil. I'm surprised something hasn't caught fire as already underneath that car.
I mean,
he did open up the sunroof, but a lot more smoke coming out of the bottom of the car. Hopefully that thing is going to, maybe he's starting to get smoke inside the car. That could be as well because of something's definitely changing right there.
Oh man, he's swerving.
Here we go. Oh.
It's wraps.
And doors open. Is he really going to try to run? Oh, what's CHP doing? Okay.
There's 2 of them in there, boy.
2 people.
Why are you guys running in the same direction, weirdos?
By law enforcement to keep an eye on the passenger. So we're going to keep an eye on this guy right there the best we can while the California Highway Patrol is... if I can keep an eye on both of them, I definitely will. But they
really are here running, bro.
Got on the other side of the freeway. Jeff, we need to get over to the we're moving Sky Fox the best we can. We'll keep an eye on him.
Well, y'all can't jump down.
I hope they don't try to carjack anybody. That's kind of what I'm worried about.
That's what I was thinking about.
You know, there he goes. That's the driver. I don't know what happened to the other guy. Yeah. He is definitely trying to get somebody, which is, no, they're both right there. And
they said we done.
Go. Oh, there's law enforcement. Hello. Yeah.
Oh, he's pissed.
It looks like he has some sort of injury to his hand. Looks like he hurt his hand somehow. Yeah, definitely. Whew! That was a chase. Definitely. I'm just going a little bit wider. I wanted to see where the car was, but my pilot has been stretching it here in Skyfox. We definitely
see what his friend should have did. He should have stayed in the vehicle. He should have stayed in the vehicle and acted like he was like a deal gone wrong or something like that. Bro, easily.
At 8 o'clock, so we are definitely on our reserves. We got both of them in custody. The dog didn't get to play, but got them both in custody. Nobody seriously hurt. That's huge as well. But what a pursuit this morning! Wow. Yes. Yep, we gotta go. We gotta go. Thank you, guys. Ugh.
This dude acting like he did a whole bunch of work. Ugh. Suspect rams car, steals van and truck during whatever. Full chase BMW. What's with these BMWs going crazy, bruh? Going crazy, bruh.
If you're looking to get a degree in IT or cybersecurity, UMGC is waiving their application fee through May 31st. Tuition is actually...
I'm good, bro.
Armed robberies wearing body armor.
That boy pushing. I don't know why it looks faster than 100 miles an hour, but
No icon still. Okay, just making sure.
it's always tinted windows.
We've got icon. We're ready.
See, in the future, when people start driving just primarily electric vehicles, they're gonna be like, shut it down, and then all you're gonna see is the car like like slow down and the car shut completely off. This dude just driving normal but speeding. That's it. Where the cops at? This is in California too. This is like going the opposite way from the last one, like on the same freeway. Ooh, motorcycle cop. Why is he going so slow? I'm kind of curious.
Behind that armed robbery crime, somewhere believed to be in LA County, but in any event, he is considered armed and dangerous as we hear them on the scanner. And now here comes the passenger side window, cracked open slightly, and maybe indications there. I didn't get a really close look. Maybe indications of a second person in that seat, but in any event, you saw the window come down
dangerous.
very briefly,
Ain't nobody gonna hang with
back
us.
up. That's about the first glimpse that we've seen inside of this car. You can see those windows are pretty much limo tinted and really impossible to see in there right now.
All I can think about is someone just buying time while they're speeding. These are like normal speeds though. This isn't like going crazy. It shouldn't have looked like it though, being that close up to the car.
Back onto the 605 freeway, again continuing southbound along the 605. We're just south of the 105 freeway. His next major interchange is going to be the 91, which is all of these freeways south of the 5 freeway are looking pretty clear, by the way. It's all green from here on south. So his heaviest traffic was a little bit north of here as he was approaching the 5 freeway. You saw that steady backup. He was able to manage that and now has very little traffic to negotiate with. In fact, he could really push it here if he wants to. He's still doing about 80 miles per hour, but he is showing signs of looking for an opportunity to maybe get off, maybe foot bail or something like that. But he's all over the freeway here looking for his next move to try and lose those officers. Right now, he is not able to do that. He's got a full pursuit package in tow here as they're right on his tail. I mean, despite the high speeds, they are doing once again a remarkable
It's not high speeds, bro. What do you guys call high speeds? Normal speed? Traffic speed?
Onto the 91.
Yeah, you can't even see nothing in there, boy. There has to be like a Lambo high-speed chase.
I did not see that, but it could very well be. Very possible. There is a chippy. Yep, there's a chippy. A couple cars behind him.
Chippy?
He's got a full pursuit package plus a chippy, and I think your sentiments
That's
are
what they
echoed
call
by
y'all
the
motorcycle
watchman.
police
He
is a
much
chippy?
happier to have
I would
his
not be
troopers
happy about
on
that.
the freeway chasing this guy
My
than on
name's
Surface
James.
Street. It just becomes all that much more dangerous with an unpredictable driver like this behind the wheel. If he gets off the freeway and
unpredictable, he's been just driving straight.
Dangerous driving, all bets are off, and that's where we're going west towards the Long Beach area. And as we make our way further west, traffic once again will slow down.
He got a helicopter. Boy, he got about 4 stars on him now.
As far as I can see, immediately he doesn't have any clear obstacles, but a little bit further up, past the LA River, past the 710, it will start to slow down on him.
Trying to stay on that 91 West, going towards towards the beach area. So again, we'll stay on this. We're seeing him to speed. David, you wanted to?
I'm just pointing at this. I'm watching the odometer just kind of click over. It's above 100 miles an hour right now. And I guess having a chippy behind him on that motorcycle gives him a little bit of extra maneuverability and sudden speed if they need it. This guy's going to try to maneuver his way out from these larger CHP vehicles. Not sure if he's going to be able to do that, but having a motorcycle officer behind him is going to give them one extra weapon to keep up with this guy if need be, although I'm always fearful to watch a motorcycle officer. I mean, they're out there with zero protection and going at 100 miles an hour. That's pretty scary.
Well, one of the things that they can also do, aside from assisting in the pursuit itself and keeping eyes on the driver, they are able to shut down some of the entrance ramps to keep traffic from getting on the freeway. However, at these speeds, that becomes a little bit counterproductive. There's not a whole lot of effectiveness in doing that unless they have enough officers in position or maybe are able to create a traffic break even behind them. Even behind them, though, when you're going this fast, it's really difficult, especially as he keeps transitioning. Now we're getting onto the southbound 710 here. So now we're off the 105, off the 91, onto the southbound 710 here. Again, once again, over the Gore Point, a new primary officer taking over.
This dude's doing. This dude is like on EcoBoost.
And now a primary challenger right behind
Cop
him,
chase.
taking over
He's on
as
a
they start to do that dance, handing this off to various
economic
CHP
friendly
stations in the region here
high-speed
as he continues
chase.
Southbound 710 freeway at 90 miles per hour.
Nice
with a lot more traffic.
swerving.
As he weaves around here, you start to really hold your breath because the way he's weaving around at these speeds, this is where it could get very, very dangerous. Not that it hasn't been this whole time, but you certainly just hope that he doesn't make one wrong move.
Our car enthusiast who is directing the show, Mike Gilbert, is telling me that's a BMW 135i. It's turbocharged, 6 cylinders, so it can really go, and we're actually witnessing that as this guy desperately tries to evade the CHP officers behind him. Keep in mind, I think, Chris, we probably would have seen them pull off of this one because it's become so dangerous. But
you know what'd be funny is if like this car just went by, some muscle car or another BMW or whatever, and thought that it was a race, and they freaking started speeding with the car, and then all of a sudden they notice that they're in a high-speed chase with the cops on accident.
Of suspect that they're dealing with. This is a guy that could be involved with armed robberies. He could be armed right now as we speak. There's also rumors that he could have body armor on. Plus,
body armor.
That to the tinted windows, the high speeds. This is a dangerous man, clearly, and they're taking it very seriously.
That's right, and there's no way to know, at least for us at this point, to know whether that car actually belongs to him. So if it's a stolen car, which we don't know if that is, we haven't heard that, but if it's not his car, there is no way to track him. If they were to let it go, they'd be relying completely on the air unit for as long as the air unit can stay in the air with fuel. And so that's not something they're willing to take a chance on just yet. If they can keep up with him, they're going to do that,
slow it all the way down.
as he encounters more traffic here. He is considered armed and dangerous, and that is giving them even more justification, as you talked about, to keep the pressure on and stay on his tail. There's that CHP helicopter right overhead there.
Yeah, you got two of them on him.
Now slowing down again, traffic bunching up here as we approach the 405
Well, he didn't make
freeway,
no progress.
looks like he's taking it. He's taking the 405. He can still go over that Gore Point, but looks like he's now committed. Now committed to the 405 freeway, and if I'm not mistaken, that will be the westbound transition on the 405. Double check that. Yes. Yeah, it looks like the westbound side of the 405 is getting on here.
Yeah, and you can see that CHP so close behind him as well. But then you can see the box truck kind of moving over and letting him get over. But again, this is always catches everybody off guard when you see a car driving this quickly and then the CHP right behind you. But again, we're sort of limited on our viewing to see exactly which part of this 405 he's right there.
Southbound
or he's gonna,
710 still?
Looks like it does say that, Chris, when you just said southbound 710 Sky Map.
Yeah, he was going towards the 405, and then he just used that connector to get right back on. So he's slowing himself down here. It gives you the impression that he may not be quite familiar with the freeways, at least as much as we thought he was. He seems to be maybe getting a little bit lost here because he's just using these connectors to get right back off, and now he's getting off. Now he's getting off. This is going to put him onto the eastbound. I believe the southbound side
This
of the
dude
405,
using MapQuest right now.
No, that's not the 405. That's not the 405 at all. That's going to be, what is that? That is Wardlow.
Now he's picking up the
Road.
speed.
Wardlow Road. He's going eastbound Wardlow, getting off of the freeway. And now things get real because CHP has a real decision to make here. And I presume I should say, that they are going to continue. But we'll see what the driving is like here. Now that he's getting off of the freeway, he is really giving these officers a run for their money, but they were able to make the transition with him. At least some of them were. We'll pull back just a little bit once we can to see if we can see how far that closest unit. Look at him right behind him. Right behind him is that primary
He's
unit.
not even pushing for real.
Unit, supervisor behind them, and there's that chippy. So
and there's that
right
chippy
behind him as he comes up on a red light, right through the red light, making a right turn there. Southbound Pacific Place off of Wardlow, and now, like I said, this is going to become a much different game now that he is off the freeway.
Yeah, and at what point, Chris, does it, we know that the CHP is obviously has jurisdiction over it on the freeway, but at what point do they start jockeying for which law enforcement agency sort of starts taking the lead in this, or does the CHP ask the local law enforcement to try to block some of these areas or try to make their presence known?
It's a great question, and the short answer is never. CHP is very territorial over their pursuits, and it is very rare, unless it turns into a foot pursuit and they need perimeter set up and areas cordoned off, then they will ask for assistance. But when
That's probably one of the most normal ones I've ever seen, bro.
it is their game. They will
This
invite
dude about
other
to
CHP officers who are available
stop and get
to
a
join
honey
the
bun.
pursuit and help out however they can, but they very rarely know where he's making those turns because of the helicopter. They just can't go at the same speed he's going down residential streets. They have to slow down a little bit, but they know where they have to make the turns. They know where he is, and so they're going to continue as best they can.
They're going fast in the residentials,
90
brother.
miles per hour
Ooh.
down MLK Jr. here on a surface street. Very, very concerning. This is a very concerning situation. Comes to a full stop. Here comes the driver. No other passengers, just the driver jumping out of the vehicle. He is now on foot, looking, okay, look at this. Is this a stranger's home, or does he know this person? Nope, he is certainly making this up now. Is he going to try?
He's done.
What's he doing here?
Oh,
What is he
fuck
doing?
it.
Okay,
I'm
hands
done.
up, giving himself up. Giving himself up. He sees CHP. They're going to make communication here. Guns drawn. Officers with their guns drawn. CHP troopers aim
Did he bring his
squarely
keys?
at that suspect, now proning himself out, following orders as they approach him and attempt to make a felony arrest here. You can see that Chippy standing by right there. He is not going to put up a fight, and this pursuit coming to as safe of a possible resolution as you could have possibly imagined. It really couldn't end any better than this, because that was very, very scary when you consider the speeds he was going.
Yeah, that came to a very fast ending, and look at this. The youngsters with their cell phones have to get a little shot of this, but part of the danger of these pursuits, if he would have continued on in this neighborhood at that high rate of speed, there are pedestrians, there are kids out, no school tomorrow, etc. A lot of danger zones. We are so lucky that this guy decided to get smart, even though truly that wasn't his intention in the beginning. But when he found that he had nowhere to go, he did give up, and he gave up without a fight. So thankful there. Nobody was hit. No injuries that we know of. No. Colleen,
It's worth reiterating, for the second time this week, we have seen the California Highway Patrol apply tremendous pressure on yet another suspect running from the law at high speeds, very dangerous maneuvers, and yet they were still able to keep up with him. And not only were they able to keep up with him, they were willing to give those officers the authority to continue the pursuit.
Shopify has everything you need to grow your retail business, like fast and secure checkout, reliable card readers, and one place to track all your in-store and online.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got a full tank.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're getting into a complex here. If we open up a little bit, there's some apartment buildings.
This look
there
like,
appears to be some office space here and a dead end. Now, the helicopter
California?
overhead is going to be radioing in.
Definitely
to
not a
patrol
dead
cars in
end.
this area,
Yeah,
and they may be able to get into a situation where they can try and figure out exactly where he's at and maybe take him into custody. Now, it looks like he's going through a courtyard right here. That's an interesting shot. Fortunately, there's nobody there. It's almost if he knows this area. I don't know why you'd pull through an area like that knowing it comes out to another street if you haven't been here before. But certainly he's slowed down quite a bit. Looks like he's looking around and maybe, just maybe, thinking about taking a run for it.
Well, clearly he would do so. He's crossing yellow lines. What the hell? I think you're looking for the freeway.
Yep. Yeah, there's no question about that, and he's putting his life in danger, that's for sure. You know, one turn from one of these cars when he's doing 95 miles an hour on a surface street, if they don't see him, you know, even hitting a big pothole, I don't know if you ride a motorcycle, if you have much, but when you get up to those
Speed
speeds,
bump, shoot.
boy, I tell you, it gets extremely dangerous. At this street here, it's a pretty major as we travel northbound on Lark Ellen Avenue. It looks like there's some stoplights up ahead, but nothing in the way of traffic. And boy, look at the acceleration, though. You can tell these motorcycles, these modern-day motorcycles, are so fast. I mean, they go up to 180 miles an hour in some cases, some even faster. But
That's
the way
a
they
fact.
accelerate is incredible. Now he's at a stop light here, and I'm sure he'll look both ways before he goes through. So, you know, sometimes, Philip, we follow people that are being pursued, and we think there might be alcohol involved. This guy, not that case. He has control of that bike. He's ridden it very well from the moment we got overhead.
Yeah, that bike looked like it had some years on it.
No patrol cars behind him. We don't think any authorities are following him at this point.
I know if there's nobody following directly behind him, he definitely feels it because there's no way he's riding like this and doesn't know somebody's on his butt. He has to have a tracker or something, or he's just. You're just going for it.
Yep. He's got the steering stabilizer turned up, if you know what I'm talking about, because he doesn't want to go at those rates of speeds and hit anything that's going to make that front wheel wobble.
Yep, he sees it in there.
Point, you know, law enforcement, I think, from following this is just saying, hey, let's follow him.
Yeah, this one's an older bike. This one's like,
what this guy does.
he said a modern day bike. This is old. I can't tell what it is. It looks like a. It looks like an old Kawasaki.
On the ground right now, and we really aren't in a position to try and stop this. I don't see that there's much that they could do to try and get in this guy's way. They're not going to be able to throw out a spike strip. That doesn't seem to be an option. CHP has called off their pursuit. It was on the freeways for a while. I believe this is going to be the
oh, he just took off.
West Covina area. And it's incredible, though, to watch these things accelerate, isn't it? At one moment, it looks like, bring up a real-time speed tracker. He'll be doing 35 or 40, and within an instant, he'll be up to 90 miles an hour.
100.
Yeah.
There's like nobody on him besides these two helicopters. Now. Mm.
200 horsepower and they only weigh like 400 pounds. It just makes for a rocket out on the roadways. We haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's a
patrol car
Kawasaki.
at that intersection. Let's see if he turns. He does. It looks like now if we open up a little bit, you're going to see the patrol car behind him.
Oh, you see the patrol car. Now he took off.
Boy, he does
Yep.
go back on the motorcycle and push
See,
it.
look at that.
So as soon as he saw that
He's
motorcycle
like,
behind him, he really started the acceleration. This is accurate, 75, 80, 90 miles an hour. For a moment there, it took a second for the speed tracker to catch up. That wasn't 140. And now he's slowing a bit for this intersection. There's a patrol car behind him, and that has changed his demeanor here. He's going to go to
No, there's
make a right turn.
a bicyclist. Oh, man.
So it looks like we're in a jurisdiction now, and I believe we're still in Whittier, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me, not Whittier, in the West Covina area. And they do have two patrol cars behind him at the moment. Thank you.
Jeez, man.
That's correct. They tried to pull him over for speeding. We're actually in Baldwin Park, and I believe
They didn't even put the lights on.
But they just cannot pursue this motorcycle on the surface streets. You know, the officers have to stop for the red lights. They can't just bust through. And the motorcyclist was able to maneuver through those lights very quickly. They're still behind him. You don't see him in this shot because they're too far off. We'll stay on the motorcycle at this point. But we're in Baldwin Park. We're headed back southbound towards the 60. And even though they have a couple of units behind him, it's really difficult for them to try and track him on the ground. Yeah.
I kind of wonder every time, like, what goes through people's head. Because he's just driving through residential neighborhoods. It's kind of weird.
But Sheriff's helicopter is staying overhead, coming up on an intersection here, a red light, but you can see how maneuverable the bike is, how he can go right to the front of the line. He can look to see if he wants to run this red light. It looks clear to him. There's traffic. He sees that he can get by safely. You know, how do you follow along in a patrol car in a situation like that? Yeah. Exactly.
That is weird. Because it shows that he's going through
the motorcycle has slowed
a parking lot and
looking around. Now
I don't think he knows where he wants to go.
I don't see any patrol cars behind him, and so
is he dumping his bag? Oh yeah, he's dumping his bag.
What he's thinking, he's taking his shirt off or his jacket or backpack or something and threw it there.
He said, "All right, now I'm ready to go."
Yeah, there's nobody behind him though. I don't see any patrol cars behind him, so he's acting a little unusual now. I've seen this a little bit, but right now it's just the helicopters overhead radioing his position. They'll sort of see. I mean, they'd like to get this guy into custody. They don't want this type of thing to take place. It's a danger to himself. It's endangering the public. And so, you know, they'd like to make sure they get this guy in custody so it doesn't happen again. You don't need somebody like this getting away and then not thinking, well, I'm just going to do this, you know, a couple times during the week. We're into a shopping center here, and there are patrol cars not too far away. They just can't keep up with them. But, boy, when the patrol cars did catch him, it was almost like cat and mouse and almost like he was saying, hey, you can't catch me. But there are no patrol cars coming into this strip mall right now, and at least the motorcycle slowed down, fortunately, because
I don't think, yeah, he definitely doesn't know what he wants to do. Now he's getting on the freeway after 30 minutes.
Yep.
Now you got to think about how much gas you
the
got.
West San Bernardino Freeway, not far from
And
the
obviously, because you
605.
don't plan on
We're in
stopping.
Baldwin Park, and we did see speeds up to 130 miles an hour earlier on the freeway. We'll see if he starts to travel at that rate of speed. And then also, you know, CHP may engage. If he stays on the 10 westbound for a long stretch of time, they may decide to get involved. But earlier, they had just backed off. They weren't interested in trying to follow a motorcycle at those types of speeds.
Yeah.
I even started to notice some of the hair growing.
Hey, these things be fake. I have a buddy that that did one of these commercials. I ain't never seen him lose hair in a day in my life, and he's younger than me, so that didn't make any sense.
Those types of speeds.
What the heck? There we go.
No doubt about that. He's got control of this bike. He's traveled very recklessly, very close to some vehicles, and he's fortunate that he hasn't been involved in an incident and got himself injured or killed. We're on the 605 northbound. I think you lost my signal around the 10 and the 605. So he got onto the 605 north. So now we're headed up, up towards the Irwindale area, headed through El Monte. But we have seen some pretty high rates of speed on the freeway, but he got some more gas. Maybe he was low on fuel, got himself
that car going faster than him.
And that could keep him out on the roadways for hours. We did, it was on the 60 west and then got on the 605. It started in the Norwalk area, came up through the Colima Pass, for those folks familiar with that, up into Hacienda Heights, onto the 60 westbound to the 605 north to the West 10, then onto the surface streets for quite some time, then on back to the West 10, and then North 605, and this will end, the 605 north ends up at the 210 in the Irwindale area. And there's not much traffic up here as far as the volume on the freeway is concerned, so he's got an open roadway up ahead, if you will, if he just wants to continue on. But no CHP units behind the vehicle, just the sheriff's helicopter you see there overhead. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Oh yeah, he definitely gotta have like. At least have a tank. Is it raining?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He's got good control of the bike. We've never seen anything in the way that anything we've seen that would make us think that this guy isn't an excellent rider. His mental capacity, we certainly can question that, that's for sure. But his ability to ride the bike, he's certainly shown that he has, mastery.
Is this a dust storm? Like, what the heck is going on?
Out of traffic, go at this point.
Oh yeah, this.
Yep. Yes, that's correct. Yep. Got out of the way.
No, don't follow him.
Yeah, he's following behind. He pulled over. He got into the fast lane. He was in the carpool lane. And then he got right back behind. But, we're seeing speeds that are pretty even or close to the speed on the freeway. It's only a little bit faster.
That dude just looked over. He's like, a helicopter.
70, 75, about what the pattern of the speeds are on the 210. But the other motorcycle's keeping up with him, and he's right alongside him. Yeah, 3 of them now.
Don't. Oh my gosh. Unless if that's his homie. I highly doubt it though.
Yeah, you would hope the other motorcyclists had a little more sense than to take off and follow this guy. You know, not all these guys out there are that crazy, and most of them, you know, have their own health concerns at the foremost. And this guy, you know, he rides this thing well, but
That's not
we've seen several situations where one turn of a car, one little incident, and you know, this guy may not make it. He'd be in an accident at those types of speeds. So vulnerable on a bike, you know, you can get seriously injured or killed real quickly. Is that? All right. Does that look like whatever you can do? Does that look like there's no lights on that bike, like it's a race bike? Yeah, I didn't see any headlights.
There's headlights, bro. What are you talking about?
An hour, 45 to an hour.
Did I get him?
Where is he? Go ahead, go this direction and just give me a left pedal turn. Turn it, put it into a hover. I see him. Hold it right here. Perfect. Hold it right here.
Ooh.
There you go. Now go forward. Push your nose over. I saw him.
Ooh, don't do that.
There's nobody out there. Come left for me.
Slow down.
Yeah, I'm looking for him.
Let's see, you keep getting back into the line of sight of him.
Stop it right here.
You see the headlights right there, brother.
I would climb if you can. Just get a little higher. Okay, hold it right here. Just give me a hold it right here for a moment and climb. Go right up to this cloud layer. You're doing a great job, by the way. Okay, let's go straight ahead. Hold it
I
right
went
here.
back.
I went back that way. So just pull it into a hover, make a right pedal turn. This is good. Go to the north a little bit. Just hold it right here, basically. You're good. Just hold it in a hover. You better go north so we're not right on top of the sheriff ship. Keep going north. You're clear out my window. Good job. Yeah. Yeah, he did. You know, we've gone around in circles to just south of the 210 on the lake in Colorado here on Green Street now, right in the heart of downtown Pasadena. It's unclear Pasadena PD is going to get involved. There we go. We talked about this earlier. Went into a parking structure, and that's why you want to have units behind him if you want to take him into custody, because we're into a parking structure here with a helicopter overhead.
Yeah, that's...
he'll be radioing for the...
Yeah, that's... You don't want to go into here. It's practically a dead end. Unless if it's attached to a mall. But even then, there's cameras, so...
Pasadena to head this direction. And all we can do is keep a wide shot and see if we see the suspect come out. But I've seen several of these pursuits with motorcycles and vehicles as well, where the suspect will finally go into a parking structure and then try and make a run for it on foot. And we'll just have to see exactly how this is going to unfold.
Probably him getting folded.
There he is, I believe. That's someone. I'm not certain if it's him or not, but it could be if he got rid of his sweater.
I mean, who were you guys chasing after the whole time? Duh.
All right. Yep. All right, cover.
Out of there.
Good job, man. I know that wasn't easy. I've been there before. No, it makes it more difficult, I know. Oh, they made you make the call? Ah. I never had
Video, bank robbery, suspect throw cash from getaway vehicle.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
Good job.
See, police chase wrong way driving ATV across Miami-Dade and Broward. Bank robbery
Building your
sounds
online
crazy.
business? Go to Wix.com and set up your...
A robbery sounds insane. So are they just in hot pursuit now? Or is it? Okay, this is where I wanted to be.
And the vehicle itself.
Ooh,
I mean,
that's a whole bunch of people, bro.
Here, this continues.
Oh no. Oh no. Bob. Oh no. California.
Talk to me on 6J. That's right, and that is, Philip, you nailed it on the head, right? And that's a big consideration when an officer involves shooting. I mean, they have to consider their background, and these suspects start to engage the officers. They're not usually concerned about hitting other people, but those officers have to be very, very careful as we go northbound Vermont here, the wrong side of the street. They got to be very, very careful on what their background is, almost seeing hit one of our trucks there. But going back northbound on Vermont here, looks like that might be Vernon as he goes back westbound. No, it just turned westbound. Yeah.
Why are they trying to run out on the road? That's so crazy. Boy, what are you doing?
Let's
oh,
go
you
for the
done
west.
got... Boy, you done got. You better move out the
Yeah,
way.
see, this is not a good idea. These are citizens getting involved. Sheriffs are out. Guns are drawn. Hands are out. Okay, it looks like they're giving it up. They're going to pull them out. Very dangerous situation here. Not sure if they know, that's all I got, to know if they are armed or not, but Sheriff's not taking any more chances, pulling at least 2 suspects out of the car, clearing the right side of the car.
Why is it taking so long then?
And take...
Damn.
Want to get out of there, Philip and Leslie. Absolutely want to get...
Jeez.
Control situation, both with LAPD Southwest Division officers and 77th Division officers.
Oh, he throws
Not sure
money
if they're
out
going to be
the
calling in
window.
any Metropolitan Division assets that are trained in crowd control, but that could quickly turn into that type of a situation if this continues. But right now you can see that
That'd be your best bet. Throw
I'm
money
using
on
the
the
digital
car.
doubler rather than the I got the...
Yeah.
We haven't seen how bad this is going to get yet. I mean, everybody's talking about the cost of food. There's not going to...
This unsuspecting man is about to show just how much of a monster he really is. On September 12th, 2021, this man, 38-year-old Antoine Suggs, assassinated 4 innocent people in the middle of the night. Our small team of investigative reporters has gathered the footage and
Let's take it back real quick.
This man, 38-year-old Antoine Suggs, assassinated 4 innocent people in the middle of the night.
Wow.
Our small team of investigative reporters has gathered the footage and case details about Antoine and how all 4 murders came to be in order to present the whole story in its entirety for the first time ever. This all started very early in the morning a few days prior on September 8th. Antoine arrived in Minnesota via airplane from his home state of Arizona, and footage shows that nothing seems to be out of the ordinary. But that changes very soon. Antoine is picked up by an unknown person and leaves the airport with them. A few days later, on September 11th, late at night, Antoine revisits the airport in a new luxury Mercedes SUV. Later investigations report that this car was recently loaned to Antoine. It is unknown whether or not Antoine is connected to a larger organized crime group. While it's a logical hypothesis considering the value of this luxury car Antoine is now driving, we have yet to unfold the full story of this case, as it is only just heating up. We don't know why Antoine revisited the airport, but the surveillance footage gives us a glimpse at his passenger, who bears a striking resemblance to one of his future murder victims, Nitosha Lee Flug Presley.
Wow.
If the passenger is indeed Nitosha, then this was one of the last images showing her alive. According to a complaint filed by an anonymous person, a witness said they saw Antoine and Nitosha taking shots together at a bar just hours after he left the airport. Records also show that Nitosha's aunt told investigators that Antoine and Nitosha were romantically involved. Putting all this information together, it's becoming more and more likely that this passenger is indeed Nitosha. After a night of drinking, it is believed that Antoine and Nitosha went to a residence in St. Paul, where they spent time with 3 other people who would soon become Antoine's other 3 future murder victims. They were Lois Foreman III, Matthew Pettis, and Jasmine Sturm. Just hours later that same night, now the very early morning of September 12th, surveillance footage caught this altercation sometime around 3:30 a.m. in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Damn.
In this footage, we hear gunshots and then that same Mercedes car speed through the streets. It is clear this is when the murders happened, but what Antoine does after this is quite shocking.
Get some
On the same day around
bag of
10 a.m.,
snacks.
after driving around for many hours trying to figure out what to do with the dead bodies, Antoine decided that he needed help hiding the bodies. So he makes plans to meet up with his father, 56-year-old Darren Osborne, at a gas station during the day. Antoine's plan was to have his father follow him into western Wisconsin to a cornfield where they would find an inconspicuous place to dump the car with the bodies in it. Osborne later told officers that he had no idea at this point there were bodies in Antoine's car. On the way to meet with his father, Antoine stops at a different gas station than the one planned for the meetup spot. In this disturbing surveillance footage that shows this particular stop, you can even see one of the deceased victims in the passenger seat, limp and showing no signs of life. And while those bodies are in the car, Antoine is inside the gas station, paying for his gas just like it's another normal day. Antoine continued traveling to the meetup spot, moving from St. Paul, Minnesota to Dunn County, Wisconsin. This time, stopping at the originally planned gas station. We see him and his father convene at the gas station and they speak a bit before driving away. It is presumed Antoine had now moved the body out of the front passenger seat, considering his father would have clearly noticed a deceased human being sitting in the car. That is, if Antoine's father is telling the truth. Again, at this point, according to the father, he did not know what Antoine was up to. However, it is reported that Antoine allegedly confessed to his father, soon after the meetup, that he had snapped and shot the victims. At this point, it's becoming more and more difficult for Antoine's father to deny his involvement with this situation. Antoine and his father allegedly went on to hide the car with the bodies in it in a cornfield further into Wisconsin. It is reported that a local anonymous farmer found the abandoned Mercedes in a cornfield in Dunn County, Wisconsin. He very quickly reported it to the police.
What?
At this time, no one knew of Antoine's or his father's involvement. However, we do have body cam footage that details some of the officers' experiences investigating the car in the cornfield with the deceased victims in it. What they find is extremely
brutal. Oh, you really thought
brutal.
you missed the live?
We're gonna go right here.
No, you didn't. I was having internet issues, so I had to reboot everything. I got 2 routers. So both of them were conflicting, so I had to restart everything twice. That's probably why you got 2 notifications that I was live. But I had to restart them. Took some time for it to reboot, then restart my my laptop, and then finally started the live. But appreciate you being here. What up? Hopefully you're doing well. No, that's all good. Just took a little extra patience. Oh man, the bodies are in there. Wow.
We did open the back door. If you need to open the back door.
Do we know if that one in the back on the far right is male or female?
Do you know? The one on the far back? The behind the driver?
I thought it was a female.
So they were stiff when you moved them?
Yes.
Somebody said?
I opened that door. I basically went like this, and it was just, you know, hard, stiff, rigor, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, the male, we didn't check anything on him. I thought there was like a hole. Looks like there might be blood pooling in his ear, or I thought maybe that was an entry or exit wound. I'm not sure.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. I ran out.
Why would you ditch it right there?
There's no keys in the ignition.
A bunch of blood on their shoe. See that?
Yeah, it's pooled. Yeah, definite
Like you would,
bullet
you
wound.
would think if anything you'd like set the vehicle on fire, but not
One to the
just,
right side of the face, right side of the ear. On him, on the male.
These officers are taking careful note of entry and exit wound details for a very important reason. This detail alone is extremely helpful in determining if the murders were committed with intent or in self-defense.
Well, then if it was in self-defense, why would you dump the bodies in a field and didn't call the police?
Looks like an entrance wound right there.
It didn't look like an exit wound to me. I'm guessing she got shot in the body.
Usually the exit wound of
there's
a
blood
bullet
on the left
or
arm
of a gunshot
and
is
right.
bigger
It's old.
than the entry wound.
Watch your right shoulder.
Well,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, what's in the pocket, Dan?
There, dried blood. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's dripping right now.
Oh yeah.
Male. Gunshot wound to the head. Right, yep. Here's the exit wound over here. See on the front seat?
Yeah.
Right below, right where the shoulder rest is, that white stuff, is that brain matter or skull particulates?
Hard to say.
To say that'd be your everyday job
Is she
is
wearing
to,
her seatbelt still?
No,
I couldn't tell if it was just
behind
her.
her.
Behind her.
is just to
probably so that it
investigate
wouldn't,
crime scenes.
Because the weight's in there, so it'd be...
You
I
would
wanna
definitely
know
need
what gunshot
2
wound is on
therapists
this other gal.
and extra
How do you
vacation.
have exit wounds and there's no damage in the vehicle?
Well then, but also if it's a headshot, wouldn't she have splatter? I mean, you got splatter on him, but it's just weird.
Well, his is coming from his nose. You know, that's just draining from the nose from the brain shot.
Oh yeah.
Alright, well, did we look through the... Well, let's just get out of here, I guess. We'll go talk to Kyle.
During later investigations, Antoine's Arizona ID card was found on the floor of the car.
Dummy. Oh my gosh. I know for a fact he was just like, where'd I put my ID? Oh shit, where's my ID? Did one of those? Bro, that's crazy. That's how they tracked your butt. Mm-hmm. And that's why you should also probably burn the car too. Because that plastic would have, went with it. But hey,
covered in blood. This pointed the officers directly to him and later his father as well, as more information was discovered after they reviewed the previously shown surveillance footage. Officers arrested Antoine's father first, and then charged Antoine with 4 counts of hiding a corpse. Antoine, now back in Arizona, turned himself in to the Arizona authorities. Antoine would now be brought back to St. Paul, Minnesota, the city where he committed the murders. This is where his dramatic legal trial would take place. Over the course of the next few days of Antoine's trial, he claimed, incredulously, that he acted in self-defense in the killing and transporting of the 4 victims, which the prosecutors stated that they find improbable. Antoine has had a lengthy history of breaking the law, including multiple instances of unlawful possession of a firearm, possession of marijuana in a vehicle, driving with a suspended license, and much more. Even though Antoine had never racked up any charges nearly as serious as murder, this made it quite clear that Antoine is no stranger to criminal activity. During the trial, Antoine never gave any reason other than self-defense. He said the 4 victims were attempting to rob him, claiming he was the victim in this situation. However, going back to what the police learned about the entry and exit wounds of the bullets in the bodies, it's obvious this is definitely not a case of self-defense. Even though no one believed Antoine's excuse, he still gave no other reason as to why he did this. So we may never know his true motive behind murdering the 4 innocent victims. The jurors, after 6 hours of deliberation, decided that Antoine was found guilty on all 4 counts of second-degree intentional murder and was sentenced to 103 years in prison. His father, Darren Osborne, was charged with 1 count of aiding an offender. After pleading guilty, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. These are the jury verdicts that show Antoine being found
to 103. Boy, what?
Guilty on all 4 counts of murder. Judge Japal Harris, the judge who sentenced Antoine, told him this: each one of these individuals deserves that you serve time for each one of them. What do you believe could have possibly been Antoine's motive for killing these 4 innocent people? Let us know what you think.
Army Special Ops rates every John Wick movie. For show. When the killer realizes his murder was recorded, murder case shot. I'll watch that later. The killer doesn't realize he's being recorded. Oh, so this is a series, I think. No. This one looks crazy too. When cops arrest the wrong person. He's getting caught at the airport. 20 child. Oh, hell no. Instantly killed in jail. Jeez. Might have to check that out too. Craziest IG live moments. When a husband discovers his wife is a killer. Ooh. Might have to watch that tomorrow. How long is this live gonna be going on for? I feel bad, but I have to go to the. Hey, no, do what you do. Look, I'ma still do me. You still gotta do you. You just gotta tell me what movie you're going to. Cause I saw Godzilla. Godzilla was good. But no, I'm still be 100% me of Ghostbusters. Hey, let me know how it is, cause I yet to see any of the new ones that had came out. All I know is the old ones. I'm kind of scared to watch the new ones, cause I don't know. It might throw off the vibe. But let me know how it goes though. Moments before mass killer sets his deadly trap. I think I'm gonna watch this one.
Ever since you were young, you were lied to. In fact,
I'm excited for you. Go ahead and do your thing. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. I just hope that you enjoy the movie. That's all.
This is 23-year-old Dominique Davis.
Dominique has just been arrested for murder
I'll
by
come
the
back
Fort
and tell
Worth,
you
Texas
later.
Police
All right,
Department.
have a good one.
On January 8th, 2022, police responded to a shooting a little after 2 p.m. When they arrived on scene, they found the body of 23-year-old Curtis Sims lying on the ground. The police were able to find surveillance cameras in the area that had recorded what had happened. The footage showed Dominique executing Curtis with a handgun while he was lying on the ground. Dominique was quickly arrested and brought in for interrogation.
Hey, Dominique. I'm Detective Sullivan, man. We didn't get an opportunity to meet each other out there today. But I'm the detective that's going to be handling this investigation, okay? First off, let me get a little housework done here. Let's see. Today is January the 8th, 2022. The time now is approximately 17:08 or 5:08 p.m. Homicide interview room. I'm Detective Sullivan. This is Detective Anderson, my partner. Dominic, what is your last name?
Davis.
Do you understand what's going on? All right. So, you are under arrest right now.
That's funny because he has no clue it was being recorded, so that's why this dude's face is like that. Okay. It's not because he doesn't care. It's because he doesn't know that they know.
The charge of murder. I understand you may have made a statement to an officer when he got on scene that you took a gun from somebody and stuff like that. I don't know. That's what I'm here to talk about you about. But based on the investigation so far, I believe that you're responsible for a murder. Okay. If there's any claims of self-defense you want to be had, I'd love to hear you talk about it and stuff. But that's up to you. Since you are under arrest for murder, I have to read you your Miranda warnings. Okay.
I was walking.
Oh, wait a second. Would you like to talk to me today?
Yeah, I'll talk to you, but I'm not going to say much.
Okay, well, that's up to you. I mean, as long as you're saying you want to talk to me, we can talk. Okay. Go ahead.
He already opened the floodgates. He's going to start talking.
It was really just me defending myself. Somebody pulled up, got out the car, was trying to fight, flashed their gun a little bit. And once they got to swinging on me, I got closer to their car because, like, you should have just killed me, basically.
Can I ask a question? Yeah. Do you know this person?
Yeah, I know that person.
Who is it?
It was a friend.
Okay. How close are y'all as friends?
We was real close.
What happened?
I don't know.
Just fell out? Y'all grow up together, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think reasons matter for why most people do stuff? I think they do. You didn't just walk up to nobody and do nothing, did you?
I didn't walk up to nobody.
There you go.
I didn't do
so
nothing.
That could make a difference. Okay. With this being said tell me about the gun. That's important in this thing.
I mean...
Is this gun your gun?
No.
No doubt about it, it's not your gun.
It's not mine.
Okay. Whose gun is it?
His. The person is dead.
Who's that?
The person is dead.
Curtis?
Yeah.
How do you know he's dead?
They told me.
Yeah, okay. So, where did you get the gun?
From inside his car.
In his car?
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that to me?
He was fighting on me, thinking that I was hurt.
Fighting on you?
Because I was like this.
Where were you at? Were you inside the car when you were fighting or outside the car?
I was outside of the car and he got out of his car.
Okay.
That's...
So where did you get the gun? Did you reach into an open window?
Through the window. The window was down. I reached through the window.
See, if you are innocent in something that has just happened and you technically kill somebody, whether it was out of self-defense or murder, you would be highly likely to tell every bit and piece to how many heartbeats it was, to how many steps you took. This dude's just like, he came up to me, started swinging, he had a gun, and I was getting punched on, and then I killed him. Like, bro.
Oh, hey man, I'm sorry.
My fault.
Yeah, it's all right. I understand. Hey, dude, I understand. This is a big deal, man. I understand it's a big deal for you. You know, we can get up, but just let's try to be as calm as we can because I'm just trying to get the information. Because obviously, you know, this is recorded. This interview is recorded. There's no secrets, and I want your story for everybody to hear it. Okay.
Long story short is, he got out the car trying to fight me. I guess he thought that I was hurt or something like that because when he started, I started moving towards his car.
You look like you have an injury on your eye?
Yeah, he hit me. Obviously, we was fighting.
Okay. Well, I'm going to need to take some pictures of that stuff. Where did you get the gun from the car?
In the cup holder.
The cup holder. It was just sitting there in a cup holder. So you went into the driver's side or the passenger side?
Passenger side.
It's just a two-door? Okay, two-door. And you didn't open the door, but you just reached in? Okay. Then what happened?
I shot him.
How many times?
I don't know, probably 2.
What happened after you shot him?
I told the people to call the police.
Okay. When you shot him, how close was he to you?
He was close.
Was he still swinging at you? What happened?
As soon as I hit him the first time, he dropped to the ground.
Did you shoot him anymore when he's on the ground, anything like that? Nothing. Okay. Okay. So, did he say any comments to you like I'm... How many times?
I don't know, probably 2.
What happened after you shot him?
I told the people to call the police.
Okay. When you shot him, how close was he to you?
He was close.
Was he still swinging?
Or something like that, because when he started, I started moving towards his car.
You look like you have an injury on your eye?
Yeah, he hit me. Obviously, we was fighting.
Okay. Well, I'm going to need to take some pictures of that stuff. Where did you get the gun from the car?
In the cup holder.
The cup holder. It was just sitting there in a cup holder. So you went into the driver's side or the passenger side?
Passenger side.
It's just a two-door? Okay, two-door. And you didn't open the door, but you just reached in?
You know, it's effortless to tell the truth, but it takes so much energy to keep a lie and stick to it. It's a lot that bears on your psyche, your spirit, your body, your mind, everything.
Okay. Then what happened?
I shot him.
How many times?
I don't know, probably 2.
What happened after you shot him?
I told the people to call the police.
Okay. When you shot him, how close was he to you?
He was close.
Was he still swinging at you? What happened?
As soon as I hit him the first time, he dropped to the ground.
Did you shoot him anymore when he's on the ground, anything like that? Nothing. Okay.
What's up, honey?
Okay. So, did he say any comments to you like, I'm going to kill you? Did he say anything like that?
I didn't hear too much.
Kind of got tunnel vision or whatever. It happens. Just what I hear. So,
how you doing, hot pink JT?
Just so I know, that gun does not belong to you. You have never touched that gun before other than when you got it from his cup holder. Is that correct? Okay. Would you have any problem with me collecting a DNA sample from you just so I can prove that? Problem with me.
So right now what's happening is this guy doesn't know that he was caught on camera killing his best friend, saying that it was out of self-defense, but yet it was murder. So now he's getting the investigator hot on his heels saying, I don't believe what you're talking about, but let me hear your story. And he's just like, oh, I'm not going to say much, but he been yapping.
Collecting a DNA sample from you just so I can prove that. Okay.
He's trying to act nonchalant.
I'm going to have a little consent here from
whatever.
You. And all it's going to say, you can read this.
So what, I'm going to jail?
You're going to jail, man.
Okay.
This is the thing about it. Just because you go to jail tonight, don't mean the case is over. Okay? Because people look at these cases and stuff. I got to go out there. I understand there may be some video of this fight. If all that stuff checks out for you in the fight, that's going to look good for you in the future, man. Your cooperation, looks good for you. You know, like people have respect for you and stuff like that. I don't know. I wasn't out there. You were out there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to document your injuries. You know what I'm saying? If you guys were fighting, I don't know who was getting the better who wasn't getting the better who, or anything like that. We're still out there in the process of talking to witnesses and stuff. All this information I'm gathering is, pretty much to complete a thorough investigation in the case, Dominique. And if that ain't your gun, because we can tell now the DNA is so good, is I know you already touched that bottle, but if I touch it too, they can tell who touched it first. You understand what I'm saying? So his DNA should be all over that gun. And that would go to your claim that you took the gun from his car, right? So, okay, I'm going to read this to you, and I'll let you have a chance to read it too. It says, I, Dominic Davis, have been informed by Detective Casey Sullivan, that's me, of my constitutional right not to have an intrusion made into my body for the purpose of conducting a buccal cheek swab. All we do is go in with a Q-tip and get your cheek. We don't go into your body like with a needle or anything. Blood test or hair comparison. Knowing of my lawful, we're not going to do a blood test. We're not going to do a hair comparison. I'm going to X those out. We're just going to take a sheep sip. Knowing of my lawful right to refuse to consent to such an intrusion, I willingly give my permission to any qualified person to make such intrusion and withdraw a sufficient amount of buccal cheek swabs, no blood, no hair, with which to perform any necessary analysis. I give this written permission for a buccal cheek swab test, no blood, no hair, again, I'm sorry it's in there, to the above officer voluntarily and with threats of any kind at...
The detective asks Dominique if he will consent to a DNA test so they can prove he touched the handgun. Dominique will now sign the paperwork to give his consent. After the sample is taken, the detective will begin asking questions about the shooting. More specifically, why did it happen, and was it really self-defense?
How do you keep something secret?
Because initially it was said that he had shot his friend while he was on the ground. So that doesn't sound. It sounds like more of an execution rather than self-defense.
Sir, if you agree with that, just sign it right there. There's a pen. Did you and I'm sorry, I forgot his name. What's his name? The guy you were fighting with? Mm-hmm. Did you guys ever go to school together or anything like that? Mm-hmm. What school did you go to?
So this is one of his best friends, and he says he don't know him. Or he don't know. You don't know his name.
Central? Did you end up graduating? You got any kids, anything like that? Mm-hmm. How many kids you got? One, boy, girl? Girl. How old is your little girl?
Just turned 3.
Just turned 3. They don't even have any gloves in here. Just open up your mouth for me. All right. You actually got, looks like there's a little blood or something in there. I understand. I had some people come up to me out there and said this fight might have been over a girl. Is that accurate?
I mean, yeah. He definitely did it.
You don't want to tell me, or?
I don't know.
The girl in particular is Ciara Reddick. Don't know anything about that?
Girl.
So why would he come over, Curtis come over today and try to fight you? You have any phone communications with him recently, texting him, threatening him, anything like that? Nothing like that in your phone? Do you have any problem with us if we conduct a forensic download of your phone to prove that as well for your sake?
Do whatever, man.
No, it's up to you, man.
No.
You don't want me to do that? Okay, because I would say, somebody told me that there might have been communications in there where you threatened him, said that you were going to shoot him. I think if those messages aren't in your phone, I think that would be important. But if they are in your phone, I can understand you not wanting to do that as well. So you do not want me to do that? Okay.
Well, they're definitely in his friend's phone, if anything.
Because I'll put it to you like this. That whole thing's caught on tape, man. Video. Mm-hmm. I hope you know that. You didn't reach into his car.
Yes, I did.
No.
I was in the window. What are you talking about? I didn't reach into his car.
It's not enough.
Okay, either way. I don't care.
If I show you the video?
Yeah, show me the video so I can show you where, bro. Because now you're trying to say I'm lying, bro. So pull up the camera right now and show me the video so I can show you, because obviously y'all didn't see it.
Okay. I'll even give you that you reached into the car. I'll say that. Why did you shoot him while he was on the ground?
Because, what are you talking about?
You told me you didn't shoot him.
How many times was he punching you whenever you were reaching into the car?
I don't know.
Is that important to you, Dominic?
It is important to me, but like, what is there? Like, you know what I mean? Bro is dead now.
Well, let me tell you what it is. If you had to make a decision on what happens to you, does it matter if the person's sorry for what happened? You don't think it does?
I mean,
you think it matters if the person's telling the truth?
I'm telling you the truth.
Well, from what I can see from the video so far, what ain't going to look good for you is you going up and executing him when he's on the ground.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, would you like to tell anybody about that? Somebody's got to make a decision. I don't make a decision what happens to you. You know that? I just put the facts together, and here you guys go. Judges, juries do this. Okay? That's who makes the decision. I think if I had done something wrong, that there's no doubt.
Yeah, it's hard to justify if you killed somebody in self-defense and you're clearly on the ground dude is pointing a gun at you. You obviously can't do anything. That's execution.
Out. That you pulled the trigger. There's no issue with that whatsoever. Okay? I know that for 100% fact. You even admitted it to us. You said that. Yes. Go ahead.
Where did I get the gun from?
I don't know. I think you got it from your waistband.
As I was going like this, right?
I guess so, man.
Right?
I don't know. That's what it looked like to me. But with that being said is, we're going to have time to go frame by frame by frame. This is just early in the investigation. I can tell you this, just as far as I saw, I never saw you reach into the window or had the opportunity to do that.
He messed up by talking. He should have said, give me a lawyer, and left it at that. But still, with that lawyer would have told him straight up, like, it's going to be extremely hard. Either you're going to get one or two lawyers. They're going to say it's extremely hard. That looks like execution. They're going to tell you. Secondly, they'll be like, yeah, we could get this done. You just might have to do some years still. It just probably wouldn't be as harsh. So,
you know what I'm saying? This is what I saw. Now, hey, keep in mind, when I get all the video downloaded and extracted into this, and we go frame by frame.
He just decided to talk himself into a ditch. So now they have him technically confessing.
We'll be able to slow it down to where we're like robots watching through there. We'll be able to see how many times everybody hit each other. I don't know that stuff now. So, but I'm saying, is there any reason? Because reasons matter for this, man. It looks like then, is this like, why is he coming over to your place? And I don't know why you don't think it's important that you tell us all this, man. But that's up to you. I'm not mad at you if you don't want to tell me the reasons. But I think someone who's going to decide what happens, I think they should know. Me personally, man, you're not a bad guy, Dominic. I think some shit went wrong today, man. And I don't think you're a killer. I don't know, man. It's up to you, man. I'm not going to beat you down or waste your time or anything like that, but I think it's important that you tell us the backstory, what's going on, why he even came over, how did he even know you was going to be over at the apartments? How's all that? You got any questions, Detective Anderson?
So my thing is, again, going back, if you're getting beat on while you're reaching into the car, if that's what we're saying, he's hitting you, you grab the gun. At that point, you fire, correct? Okay. What happens to him? What does he do after you fire that one shot? Falls backwards on the ground?
I mean, like, I got the video too, so I can see.
I'm asking because you can only explain your emotions and your reactions at this time. Video shows a lot, but it doesn't show what goes on in your head and what you're thinking at that point. He falls down on the ground. Is that a fair statement? You still have the gun. Explain to me the next step, though, of you shooting another one or two times while he's laying on the ground.
There was a discovery of literal physical alien bodies. Do you know if it's even real?
Yeah, because he could have been in a scuffle fighting the dude, right? And shot him, and then he was on the ground. But if he's already on the ground, you already got him off of you, whatever the case, and then you shoot him again, how they're stating, that's execution. That's not self-defense. It's not a video game.
At that point, what was the threat from him at that point?
Because he had a gun in his hand when he pulled up.
At that point, while he's laying on the ground, did he have a gun?
And he got out of the car. You see what I'm saying? I don't take nothing like that. Like, so if you got a gun and you making it seem like you on the threat, bro, I'm not finna give you no.
So that's important. You should say. So when he got a car, show me with your hands. How do you know he had a gun?
When I was, if y'all have, you see what I'm saying though?
We can't see
like,
the car.
All right, but listen, hold on real quick.
If we could see in the car, that would answer your question for sure. The question
he was in the car when he came. He was talking through the car. I set my things down. When I set my things down, I looked back and see him outside of the car.
Okay.
And so when we got to fighting, I was getting closer to his car because, like, why are you fighting if you was just flashing your gun and stuff like that?
So, when was he flashing? I may have missed that. So he was flashing the gun while he was still sitting in the car earlier.
He had it on his lap right here.
In the car,
yes, he had it on his lap. Yeah, he had it on his lap, and he was like, "Yeah, woo, 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 woo." I don't know what he was saying because I ain't really give a fuck. I see you got your gun, so obviously you on something. Okay, cool, bro. So I don't care about none of that. You know what I mean? I had guns being pointed at me multiple times, but like, you know what I mean? That don't faze me. It's all about what you're gonna do with it. So if he got out of his car without his gun, then that was his fault. That's not my fault that I shot him with his own gun because he was threatening me.
I thought you said he got out of the car with the gun. Is that not
No,
true?
I did not. I never said that.
Okay. I'm sorry. I get
Yeah, he
confused.
said he had it whenever he pulled up. But when he came out of the car, he was ready to fight.
I guess so.
We fought. Y'all fought. Fair fight going. You end up over on the car. You're saying you reach in the car at that time. You get the gun. You fire that one shot. But my question to you is, why he's laying on the ground? And before you fire your other 2 shots into him, what is he doing to make you fearful that you need to fire those other 2 shots?
He already came over there. I didn't have to. I wasn't fearful. I wasn't in fear.
Did you need to fire those other 2 shots?
No, probably not.
Where did you shoot him on those 2 shots?
I know I shot him in the head.
The first shot, where do you think you shot him then?
In the stomach, right where he was at. Yeah.
In the stomach?
Uh-huh.
If you had done that, shot him in the stomach, walked off, called the police saying, hey, this guy jumped me, do you think there was a possibility he could maybe still be alive right now?
Probably, yeah.
But those other 2 shots, you said into the head, that was basically taking his life at that point, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Why did, another issue I want to say, why did it looks like on a video that you kind of, like you guys are ready to fight, that you want, why didn't you just take off or something like that?
I'm not running from nobody.
Have you guys ever been in a fight before? Never. You guys never, and you guys grew up together and all this. Is it true about the girl? Having a falling out about the girl?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know, bro. I ain't had no problem with it. No.
You never have. You know who CR is?
Yeah.
Seems like that's a touchy subject for you, so I'll leave it alone. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the reasons, man. So you don't even know what kind of gun you had in your hand.
It was a 9mm, bro.
How do you know that?
Because I know my friend, bro. That was my friend. You hear me? That was my brother. You hear me? We was close.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. How long when did y'all fall out?
Last month, right before my birthday, man. On my daughter's birthday.
And you don't even want to tell me why you fell out?
No. Okay. They'll tell you, whoever it is.
So I just take their word for it?
I mean, like, listen here. I already told you what happened, and y'all don't believe that. Y'all thinking that I pulled a gun out on my waistline, and I had this zipped up the whole time. So I don't even know how y'all can
Well,
think
like
that.
I said, I got to go back and look at the video very well.
Y'all know, man.
But I can tell you this. You said you got it from the car, the cup holder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you think should happen to you?
So it looks like it wasn't necessarily self-defense, but yeah, it was a fight that got sour. Then scuffle, shot, which you can consider it self-defense, but it's what took place more so afterwards. But they're gonna look at the whole thing as far as like you could have walked away, you could have did this, you could have did that to prevent yourself. So in the act of self-defense, you didn't have to engage. Like there was no part of it where you had to engage.
I don't know. Y'all probably gonna put me in jail.
Well, you're under arrest for murder. I mean, when this all shakes out, just because you go to jail, you can bond out tomorrow if you got bond money. You know what I'm saying? What do you think should happen? Circumstances happen. Say this didn't happen. You know now, given the same circumstance.
That's a trap. Because then he's going to say... Because then that's leverage for them to say you could have... Because you're obviously responsible, but you could have made a better choice, which would obviously lead to you being guilty for everything.
Would you have shot him, Curtis?
Probably not, no.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm lying to you. Yeah, I probably would have. There's no doubt in my mind. If I see somebody with a gun pointing it towards me or acting like they gonna do something with it, bro, if I get a hold to it, then that's their fault. Because they should have used it first. That's all I'm gonna say, man. So. No.
But he feels guilt that he did it. That's why he said what he said. He said the truth the first time. But...
Oh, I'm not taking none of this back. And if it was a time to where this happened again, I would hope they would just shoot me first instead of letting me get a hold of their own gun.
Okay. You got any other questions?
Would you have shot the other 2 rounds if you had time to do it again?
No.
Or you just shot the one?
Huh?
Would you have just shot the first round and been done? or shot the other 2 rounds at the end if you had a chance?
I don't know. It's probably just how I was feeling. I don't even know. I didn't even realize I was doing all that until after I did it.
Kind of heated moment.
Yeah.
All right, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to have my crime scene guys come over here. I want to document your injuries. You know what I'm saying? So, because to document that there was a fight and stuff like that.
Liar.
I'm going to collect your cell phone. I'm going to write a search warrant for it. I'll keep it with the case and make sure there's no messages and stuff in there. And then you're going to go to jail tonight, and you'll get a bond and stuff like that. Is there anything else you'd want to ask, or
Guaranteed
any
his
questions or
bond is
anything? You got any other questions?
pretty decent.
I don't have anything else. Okay, Dominic, just hang tight, man. Maybe some little snacks or something like that. You good? The officer's going to be right there, so I don't know how long it's going to take him to be here, so we'll see. We'll go from there, okay?
Can I call somebody?
No, we don't allow calls. Unfortunately, we get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Do you want us to try to call somebody for you?
No.
The detective leaves the room, then he returns 30 minutes later with video footage of the shooting.
Alright, I'm going to show this to you. See if you can help me understand.
Are we going to see it? Come on now, dog. Should be able to see it. Yeah. Come on. What the heck?
Then he returns 30 minutes later with video footage of the shooting.
Alright, I'm going to show this to you. See if you can help me understand what I'm looking at. So we still don't have it enhanced or anything, but so this is y'all fighting, okay? Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's hitting. What is he doing right there?
I'm sitting here.
Okay. Where are you at on the car at this point?
On the window.
You're on the window?
Mm-hmm.
Are you just hanging onto the side of the door?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At what point are you reaching in?
Right there when you see me disappear.
So you stick your whole head into the car.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically, do you grab the gun with your left hand or right hand?
Mm-hmm.
So you're here, you reach, you grab it with your right. Do you shoot? So I guess you come up. He's still hitting you?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the shot?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Man, I'm sad they don't get to show it.
Just play it. Just play it. Let me see. Let me show you.
But your head going in, though, that's where you're reaching in, grabbing that. Okay. Alright.
What's your name?
Oh,
I
you
take some
gotta get
pictures of you, okay? You just stand over.
Is he in a nightgown? Oh, he must have showed up at his house. I'm over here thinking it's like a gas station or whatever. This dude posted up for the gram.
Put your hands up for me like this. Flip them over for me. Okay, turn and face that way.
Mm-mm-mm.
Face the wall.
This boy probably easily execution. Probably nothing shy of like 35 years or more. And he look young. Like he not even past 22, 23, bro.
In the end, Dominique would be charged with murder. At first, he wanted to take the case to trial, but prosecution offered him a plea deal that he agreed to. In exchange for his guilty plea, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison.
Oh.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on this case.
That's
Based
half
on
of
the
what I
evidence
thought.
provided, did Dominique act in self-defense? If the first shot was self-defense, what about the second and third shot? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.
I'm pretty sure because he took the plea deal, it was less than what he would have went through if he took it to trial. That's where the time went. So they definitely said, well, if you plead guilty, you'll get 15. If you try to take it to trial, they could take it up to 35 years to life. Guaranteed, they said. Guaranteed.
All right, Dominique. For real this time now. Now we're actually going to go.
For reals.
You want to take a last sip of water before we toss that bottle?
That's his last civilian clothes until 15
He's
years
going to go ahead and
from
put the
now.
handcuffs on you. So they're going to go on the back side. All right. So you want your hands touching or you want your knuckles touching? The palms touching is a whole lot more comfortable. All right. So, all right, put your palms together like you're praying. There you go. And I don't know if anybody's ever told you this before. You ever been in these lovely bracelets before? Handcuffs are an oval, your wrists are an oval. Don't try to make a circle out of an oval, because it will hurt.
Alright. Had a little rough stream day today, but it's quite alright. Things happen. But we got it all situated at the end of the day. And, like I said, I'm going to be streaming every day. So, hopefully you guys could come stop through. Appreciate each and every one of you. Love you. Go ahead and check out the playlist. Check out all the other videos. I got literally over 800 videos. I'm almost at 900. So, I'll check you guys later. Peace.